Okay, hey everybody. So we're having a Film VaultERS Christmas, Film VaultERS family Christmas, like they had the Film Vault Christmas. I'm gonna have on several guests. I'm waiting for one right now to come through the door. Everybody, this is my first Film VaultERS family Christmas, and my first guest, Jason from the Force 5 podcast. I just thought I'd have people on from this past year who I've had on. And what was our top five? It was, I should have looked this up before.
I think on your show we did top 5 characters you'd want to have a beer with.
Yes. And then when I was on your show, we did top five sidekicks.
You got it. Yeah.
So if you don't remember, Jason has the podcast Force 5, the Force 5 podcast. It is so great. I listen to it all the time. Um, it's so well produced, and you have such a great voice for it. Like, I love it, and the guests are always fun and interesting. And even if they're not, you make them fun. So go over and check out that podcast. So
Appreciate
uh,
that. The
yeah.
guests really make the show. They make it what it is.
Oh no, come on, come on. Um, so did you get my email about the Christmas thing? I know it was late notice, but I had like a weird idea.
Yeah, I saw it like 5 minutes ago. So I'm
Okay.
going to give it the old college try here.
Okay. Okay, so here was my idea. I was going through ideas and then this one kind of popped up to me. Uh I'm going to have Jason explain to me his favorite Christmas movie using IMDb, whatever parts of IMDb he wants to use. He can go to like the parent guide, he can go to uh tell me some of the lower name actors and then work his way up, stuff like that, and then I'll try to guess. Obviously try to go from harder to easier, I guess, if I'm not getting it.
Yeah. So this is your first one. This is your first one. I'm going to
Yes,
I get all
yes.
right. All right.
Is
Cool.
it a hard? It's probably a hard one, knowing you, but or maybe it's all right.
Well, it depends. It depends, I
Okay.
guess. You want me to start with my first clue here?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
All right, I'm gonna go kind of obscure, and then we'll
yeah,
get to less obscure here.
for
It
sure.
is writer Roy Moore's first theatrical screenplay. The second screenplay written by Roy Moore was his last theatrical screenplay, and that was for The Last Chase.
Okay. The name Roy Moore sounds familiar. I don't know why. Maybe because I know this movie. I don't know. I don't know. I'll ask for another hint, Alex.
All right, next hint. In 1986, the main actress in this movie, Olivia Hussey, met producers for the film Roxanne, and Steve Martin met with her and said that she was in one of his all-time favorite films. He had claimed that he had seen this movie 27 times. So
Okay,
Steve
so
Martin's a big fan.
Steve Martin's a fan. Is it White Christmas?
No, not White Christmas.
Okay. All right. Okay. Um
Another clue for you, stars Margot Kidder.
what? What? Oh my god, you know there's someone listening right now who's just shouting out the answer, or several people. Margot Kidder in a big role?
Yeah, pretty big role. Mhm.
All right, I'm going to have to take another hint.
All
Maybe
right,
I
now
have.
this one, I'm hoping that this one will get it for you.
Okay.
It is one of two amazing Christmas films directed by Bob Clark.
Is this Miracle on 34th Street?
Nope. All right, one more hint here.
Okay.
Let me see. I'm gonna confirm this with the IMDb trivia because I'm pretty sure this.
Bob
Okay.
Clark.
When this movie premiered on primetime TV, so back in the day, they would, theatrical release and then they'd release it on TV for the NBC
Right.
movie of the week.
Right.
It was titled Stranger in the House.
Stranger in the House. Black Christmas. Black Christmas.
Black
Oh my
Christmas. There you go. You
god.
nailed it. The other
It's
Bob
one.
Clark film, obviously, is A Christmas Story.
Right, and that, oh my God, I am such an idiot. Um, wow, it's hard when you do it that way, but I'm sure there was people out there, and I knew Margot Kidder. I'm like, she's known for a horror movie that I love, or a couple, I think, and then you're like, oh no, good one. That's in my top 10 favorite Christmas movies as well. I caught up with that one maybe 2, 3 years ago, and just in love with it. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, the remake's not terrible.
there's been a
If you're
couple of
bored,
remakes.
has there?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I've only seen like the 2007 one or 2006, I think.
Yep.
But yeah, so Black Christmas. All right. You don't have to give it away because I'm sure you do it on your own show, but what's one of your favorite movies of the year so far? I know us movie guys, we've still got a few months left where we try to catch up on some things, but what's one that you think will be on the near the top of your list that you've seen?
Oh wow. Well, we're gonna be doing obviously we're gonna be doing top 5 films of 2023 pretty soon. And
Yeah.
I got some killer guests for that and I'll announce those pretty soon.
Uh-oh.
But man, if I had to highlight one
Mm.
that might not hit a lot of people's lists, because I'm
Mm.
sure that my favorite movie of the year is gonna be brought up today at some point with your
Yeah.
guests.
Yeah.
I don't know that a lot of people are gonna give this movie the attention that it deserves. It's getting some traction on Twitter and stuff, but man, Godzilla minus one
Yeah.
is by far one of the best movies that I've seen this year. Have you seen it yet?
I haven't they really kind of shafted us up here in Canada with that movie.
Mm,
But
yeah.
this weekend they put like a ton more theaters. They opened it up in like 1,000 more theaters across North America. So I noticed it is playing 45 minutes away from me, and I will make the drive probably next weekend to see it
Oh,
for
it's so
sure.
worth it. It's so
Yeah,
worth it. And
I
this
have.
comes from somebody, I'm not a big Godzilla fan. I've never been
Okay,
a Godzilla fan. Like the
yeah.
last Godzilla movie that I saw was 1998 when Puff Daddy was doing theme songs with Led Zeppelin.
Oh my
Yeah, that's the
gosh.
last time I've seen a Godzilla film.
So you watched that Matthew Broderick one is actually one of my guilty pleasures, but um, so you haven't seen Shin Godzilla?
No, and I put it on my list directly when I got home from this
Okay.
because I was like, okay, I need to catch up on some Godzilla. And Shin Godzilla
Yeah.
was from 2016 was one that was highly recommended. So that's going to be
Yeah.
next up for me.
It's really good. And I mean, I just heard Pete Beta from Middle Class Film Class talking highly about it. I've seen lots of people in the Cinematics Facebook group just raving about it. I haven't really heard anyone who's disliked it so far. And I just read today the director's, everyone's been stating that the budget was $15 million. And apparently
Yeah.
the director said today, I wish we had $15 million. So apparently he's saying it was a lot less than that, but it's just so interesting what they can do on such a small budget. And Marvel is, you know, with Quantumania this year and some questionable choices with their CGI. It's good to see that, but
Yeah, it does that thing where, every Godzilla movie has to do the thing where you spend most of your time with the human characters just because
mhm.
you can't spend an hour and a half with a giant lizard who doesn't talk and doesn't really
No,
have wants and desires. So you've got these human characters, but the human stories in this movie are so well done that you kind of just want more of that. Like when Godzilla comes in, it's like he's interrupting your story
yeah,
with these humans that are really, really valuable. And I think that's what it does really well.
I'm so intrigued by from what I've heard about the kamikaze pilot who comes in and he's like he doesn't want to be a kamikaze pilot. Like that's so interesting to me. I just did a bunch of World War II like research before Oppenheimer, trying to bone up on my stuff. So I'm really excited for it. And what's a recent movie you've loved? But so I guess you would say Godzilla minus one as well. Um, but I guess I don't know if you've brought it up on the show yet. You liked Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I thought Thanksgiving was a lot of fun.
Okay,
I'm
yeah, me too.
recording my mini episode that will come out tomorrow as we
Okay.
record this. It'll be out tomorrow. But yeah, It's so much fun, and I'll talk more about it on there. But
Okay.
it's a slasher film that if you've ever worked retail and you've worked a Black Friday, you will watch the first scene and just be like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm in,
Yeah.
because it's just so fun.
And Eli Roth. I don't know if you're an Eli Roth fan.
I'm not a huge fan of the movies that he's directed.
Hmm.
I think he's somebody that I would totally want to have a beer with, bringing back
Yes.
our subject, because
Yes.
the guy is like a horror encyclopedia. You
Hmm.
can bring up any freaking like random Italian horror movie and he's gonna know it. And if you've
Hmm.
ever seen his series on AMC, The History of Horror,
I've seen
he
parts of it.
yeah, he's just like he knows everything about horror
Yeah.
movies. So he brings all those kind of tropes into this movie, and it's so fun. It's
That's
so fun.
awesome.
It's not anything groundbreaking. Just like
Yeah.
Godzilla -1 is not anything groundbreaking, but it's just really it's a really well done movie, and I had a
Yeah.
lot of fun with it.
That's good. I did too. So that's why I wanted to bring it up because I didn't know if you were going to do an episode, but I'm so glad to hear that because I've been wanting to hear your opinions because not a lot of people went to the theater to see it that I know, anyways. So hopefully when it's streaming, we can get a few other people into it and maybe they'll be a good Christmas Day watch.
Yeah, I mean
um,
it's definitely going to be in my rotation. There aren't a whole lot of good Thanksgiving movies. You have like Blood Rage, and
yeah,
that's kind of
thanks
it for
killing.
Thanksgiving movies. Yeah,
Yeah,
Thanksgiving, I
yeah.
guess.
Okay, well, I'll leave you with one more question. Hold on, as I move Cat out of the way. Um, so what's the best gift you've received or the worst gift you've received? If you, I know that's throwing it at you, but you
Hmm.
can answer either or. Best or worst gift you've ever been given on Christmas?
Worst gift is a tough one, because I think anytime
Yeah,
anybody's taking time to give you a gift, there, you have to appreciate it.
for sure.
So let's see, best gift. Uh, my wife is really thoughtful. My wife always gets me great gifts. I think that, and she's gotten me a lot of tickets to live events, which I've loved. I'm not sure
Mhm.
which ones were for Christmas. So
Right,
she
yeah.
normally gets me something personal for me, and I'm a big football fan. I'm a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and one year she
Okay.
got me a personalized jersey with my name on the back of it, and I think that's probably been one of my favorite gifts. She also made me this awesome Force 5 custom hat
That's
for
awesome.
Christmas last year that I love. So she's just a really great gift giver. I can never measure up to what she does, but
Yeah.
I try. I don't really have a good answer for a worst Christmas
No,
gift,
no,
just
that's
yeah.
good. I wanted, pick one and I think it's easier for most people to think of their best, because something really good just comes right to your mind.
Yeah.
So but anyways, I know we're still a little early. It's only the December 10th, but Merry Christmas, buddy. Thank
Yeah,
you
Merry
for
Christmas.
Yeah, thank you for jumping on. It's been a great year chatting with you over in the Cinematics Facebook group. If anybody wants to join that, we're constantly chatting in there about good movies and stuff. And yeah, where can we find you?
Oh,
Not
anywhere
not locally, but I mean like on the web.
you could find me at my local bar over here, uh, or in my room podcasting.
Yeah.
You can find me anywhere that you're listening to this, unless it's on YouTube, I guess, at Force 5 Podcast. And let's see, force5podcast.com is the website that has links to everything. But I'm most active on the Cinematics Facebook page under my real name, Jason Kleeburg, and then on Twitter. I'm never going to call it X, but on
I
Twitter
know, me
as Force
neither.
5 Pod. So that's where you can find me.
Okay. Cool. All right, buddy. Well, thank you. Happy holidays, and we'll talk to you soon.
Happy holidays.
All right. Bye, buddy.
See you later.
That was Jason Kleeburg. I've got another awesome guest coming up. One of my favorite people in the world. You guys can probably guess who it is. They will be here soon. Reporting right away. Wow, you look so good. Oh my
Oh, thank
gosh.
you.
Where are you right now?
I'm in my office.
Okay, yeah, you're in Arizona, right?
Yep, I am in
Sorry.
Arizona.
Okay, guys, that's a secret. I'll cut that out so nobody knows where you live.
Oh, people can easily find me. It's okay.
That is true. Just type up Florence Bremer Law, and then they'll.
It all comes up.
Yeah. So Merry Christmas. I know it's
Merry
a
Christmas.
little early. Obviously, you celebrate Christmas.
Yes, uh-huh.
Okay. Okay. I didn't even think about that before I did this. I was like, what if these people I'm having on don't celebrate Christmas? But I mean, oh well. Well, it's fine.
I think people generally feel pretty festive during the holidays, no matter if they don't celebrate or celebrate. So I think it's appropriate to ask everybody.
Yeah. How was the Film Vault family Christmas?
It was great. We had a
Yeah.
really, really nice time. Yeah.
Is that the first time you've met Diana in person?
No, I've met her. No, I've met her in person before. I guess it feels like I've known her forever, so I was feeling
Hmm.
like I've met her a million times, but I only met her one time before. She came to the chateau when I was staying there,
Oh.
and we had a drink and a really good time.
Oh, nice. And how was the Loaded for Bear shoot? I know you were there
I
for
was there.
most of all day.
Not the whole day. I missed the morning. It was a very crazy couple of days for me. I started out in New York the day before,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I was there for, I went to this all day conference at Vogue magazine and
Oh,
like met the editors of Vogue and met a bunch of models, just learned all about the magazine. It was great. It was so much fun. And so then I stayed at the Lexington, which is like Midtown in New York. And I
okay.
got up at 2 in the morning and flew to LA. And by the time I got to the shoot, it was around 11 noonish. And I ran from the time I got there till the end of the shoot, I ran craft services. I ordered lunch and I ordered dinner and I just kept restocking the table. Because I had the New York thing, I had to rely on some other people. So like Anderson went and picked up the stuff from Costco, like,
Right, I
all the
remember him saying that.
sodas. Right, right. And I had water shipped to his house the day before. And so he brought that in. And so when I got there, I just took over running it. It was funny because people thought like the parents who were there with the actors with the born to act players, they just thought like that was my gig, like I just ran craft services. And I'm like,
Right.
No, no, I've never done this."
Well, that's good then. Then you must have been doing a good job if they were like, "Can I hire you for for my next gig?" Um, so I'm just gonna ask you a couple questions, and then we got a little game lined up. Um,
Sure.
what's been your what if I know we're in December, us movie fans are probably catch up on a few more before we say it, but what would be top of your list this year for movies you've seen?
Sure. There's three that really are at top of my list. Evil Dead Rise, which came out
Awesome.
in the spring. I loved that movie. Um, they cloned Tyrone.
Oh
I love
yeah.
that movie.
Yeah.
And Across the Spider-Verse were
Yeah.
probably three of my favorites.
Yeah. Well, those
And
are
then of course
three
there were
great
so
ones.
many. I mean, like Barbie and
Yeah.
Oppenheimer, and there was like it was a great year for movies, but those three I've just thought about over and over again.
Yeah. I reciprocate your love for Evil Dead Rise. I am right there with you. I thought it was so much fun. Like the actors and the makeup, and it was a great film. So I really love to hear you spiriting it because when it comes to the end of the year, people just kind of like forget about horror movies. But when we have something so good as that, why not?
Oh,
Lift
I
it up.
know. I know. I kept calling it beautiful every time I described it to someone because the way that the mother looked and
Yes.
how the children were transformed, it had this weird beauty to it.
Yeah. You should
I loved the
follow.
set design, the apartment. I love that
Yeah.
they took Evil Dead out of the forest and brought it into the city. I loved all that.
Yeah, me too. You should follow the director on Instagram. I think his name's
Okay.
Lee Cronin, and because he continuously posts behind the scenes photos, and it is so mesmerizing to see these actors in this crazy makeup, and then they're smiling, like hugging, and some of the behind the scenes stuff he's posted, like he's continuously posting, and I think he had a really great time filming that. So I love following him on there. Lee Cronin, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I will. I'll follow him. When I was watching the movie, I kept thinking, I can't believe they went there. Like
Yeah,
how they
I know.
went, like with the kids.
Yeah,
I thought, I mean, they usually don't. And it's not like, oh, I love to see children in distress or something, but
no,
it just was masterfully done, in
yeah,
my
yeah.
opinion.
I agree. I agree, and the stakes were high, and
Yes.
like a small family, and the stakes and the characters are so great too. No, I'm glad you liked it so much because I did as well. Um, and then I've been asking everybody this: what's the best or worst gift you've ever received for Christmas? It's easier for people to say their best, so that's you give me either.
Hmm. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Um, the best gift was probably I received autographed pictures of two of the Suns players, the Phoenix Suns. I love
Okay.
basketball.
Oh, I didn't know
And
that.
yeah, I was a season ticket holder for years, and then after COVID, it just kind of fell off. And then the Suns
Yeah.
got really good, so now they don't even like the ticket people don't even call me anymore to see if I want season tickets because they're not having any problems getting them
Right.
sold. But I had an event that I couldn't go to that where you could get autographs from a couple of the players, and I sent my brother and my nephew, and they went and got pictures autographed for me with my name on them, and that was, I think, one of the best things.
That's awesome.
Worst is a little bit harder.
Oh yeah.
um yeah,
You,
I never wear like a crew neck t-shirt. Like I like V-neck stuff. And for some reason I've gotten a lot of like crew neck t-shirts, which I either instantly just give to my husband or
right.
donate.
Yeah. I've 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 gotten the t-shirts where the V-neck is just way too low, and I'm like, I don't have the body to wear a V-neck this fucking low. Like I don't know. Anyway,
All
so
right, you send me the V-necks, I'll send you the crew necks.
okay, perfect. Okay, so I've already played this once with Jason Kleeburg from the Force 5 podcast, so we're gonna play it with you. You're gonna give
Okay,
me your Christmas, one of your favorite Christmas movies, but you're gonna try to have me guess it. So
sure.
start with the most less obvious, trivia bits from the IMDb page, and then get a little easier if I'm having trouble.
Okay. To mix it up a little bit, I'm going to do one movie at a time, but I
Yep.
picked two movies because one I think is really easy and the other one
Okay,
I think is hard, and I wanted to do both of them.
that's
So for the
awesome.
first movie, it is written and directed by the same person.
Okay. Um, Elf.
Nope.
Okay.
You want me to give you a
Okay.
second clue?
Yeah.
The credits in the beginning are listed alphabetically by first name.
Hmm. Well, these are hard. Okay, no, I need another one.
Okay, here's a third. A Mariah Carey song helped the writer inspired the writer to finish the climax of the film.
I want to say Love Actually.
You're right.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm not a huge Love Actually fan, but my fiance loves it. So I might have to suck up and watch it. I know he already
Oh,
has,
you
but
have to. And my other clues were it makes me cry every time, which was super specific to me. So I don't know if that would have done anything. And another clue was a subplot involved stalking behavior. It was
yes,
the scene
Andrew
with
Lincoln.
Andrew Lincoln, yeah, and
Yeah.
Keira Knightley. Like it comes off like for laughs, like it's supposed to be cute, but it really is like stalkerish.
Yeah, I had a lot of issues with that movie that I won't say because I don't want to ruin it at all for you. So,
Oh,
I
thanks. I
and
appreciate it. Yeah, it is a movie that I really love. I put it on every Christmas and I always cry to it.
oh, okay, your next one.
My next one. All right. It's not technically a Christmas movie, but has a few prominent scenes with Christmas and the holiday season.
Okay. Um. mm, Home Alone.
Mm-mm. Nope, I got a
Okay.
second clue for you.
Okay.
The writer is famous for her essays, a novel, and many other screenplays.
Writer. Oh. Um. The Holiday.
Nope. I can give you a third
Okay.
clue.
Okay.
The songs in the soundtrack are standards performed by Harry Connick Jr.
Oh. Is this a fairly popular one?
Yes, I would say
Okay.
it's a very popular movie. Uh-huh.
Iconic Junior. I'm gonna have to get. Is there another clue?
Yeah.
Okay.
The characters who play the best friends of the main characters are now, the actors are now deceased in real life. So the best friends, the actors are deceased.
Iconic Junior. Best friends. Female writer. The best friends are dead. Um. Okay.
One more clue? All
Yeah.
right. The director's mother is in a scene where she famously says, I'll have what she's having.
See, I've never seen this movie, When Harry Met Sally.
Yes. Yes.
Uh, and that was her. That was Meg Ryan's mom.
No, that was the director's mom. So
The
that was Rob
director's
Reiner's
mom.
mom. Yeah.
Right, 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 right. Who wrote that movie? What's her name?
Nora Ephron.
Right, she's dead
Yeah.
now. She's passed away too,
Yes,
right?
she's dead too. Yeah.
Yes, we
Yeah.
we love
And
to bring up dead people on on the Christmas episode.
yay, so
Yay!
festive.
Okay, so I wasn't able to do this with Jason. Do you have time to guess one of mine?
Yeah, I sure do.
Okay, okay, and then I will let you go. Um, okay, this one, if I hope you've seen. If you haven't, that's fine. Um, so this movie has a very large cast, and there is a gay couple in the movie, and one of them is deaf, played by a
Hmm.
real life deaf actor. They are married in the movie.
It sounds familiar, but I need another clue.
Okay. Um, I didn't prepare this enough. um, so the title of the movie is centered on a ring, and there is a family ring that one of the characters wants to give to ask his girlfriend to marry him, and that the title of the movie is surrounded about that about a ring.
Hmm. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I know this movie. It's not
Okay.
The Family Stone, right?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I was trying to do harder ones because I realized that all my clues were very easy. If you had known it. So that's one of my favorites. I watch it and cry every year. Diane Keaton, like, you find out if nobody's seen it, I don't want to spoil it, but you find out something about her character halfway through, and it's a bit silly because the way the relationships go in the movie, but yeah, it's a good one. So
Yeah, I love that. I know Sarah Jessica Parker's in it, and I will watch anything with her.
me
Anything,
too.
anytime, anywhere.
I do. I mean, she kind of gets a bad rap, but I think I like her as in
Mm.
movies she's in, and Rachel McAdams is in that movie, and I love her. And
Yes.
she was born in the city I live in, so over here in Canada. Yeah.
Wow.
So, anyways, Florence, thank you so much for coming on. You're the best. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mitch. It was so good to see you.
You too. Where can people find you if they do want to?
Sure. My website is bruemmerlaw.com, and I'm still doing my Bonafide Legal podcast. I have to admit, I have not been great about it in the last couple of months because I've been taking care of my brother, but
Right.
hope to get a new one out like in the next week or so.
Okay, yeah, no, I definitely love to hear your updates about everything and your little movie
Thank
facts.
you.
So, I mean, you post about once a month. There's usually, you know, 12, a dozen a year or more. So, it's fun to listen to. So, keep it up when you can. I know you're
Thank you. I
very busy.
appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Florence. Have a great Christmas. Hug your girls and your husband, and enjoy your time.
Same. Give your kids a kiss.
I will.
Bye.
Bye, Florence. So everyone, I'm here with Ant. Ant is my co-host over at my other podcast, The Hollywood Persona, and he is joining me here. We recorded yesterday, so I'm already sick of him. But how's it going, Ant?
Good, man. I'm doing great. It
Good.
is almost 12:30 on Wednesday night,
Yeah.
and I am planning to get up at 6:45 tomorrow morning to go into the office instead of working from home. We'll see if that happens.
Oh my God, no. Yeah, no.
No, I mean
It's
it's
just
nothing on you. It's just if my alarm goes off and I say, "Oh, fuck it," then
yeah,
I'll just work from home. Like
yeah,
it's nice that I have that ability. I can decide on a whim.
yeah.
So
No,
we'll see. We'll see.
that's nice.
Yeah. I like your background, man. The snowing background is cool.
Yeah, you like my ho ho shirt?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like a Mario level almost.
Yeah, it actually kind of
You
does.
know, the top
I could
part?
see
Yeah.
him like bouncing along. Yeah. So I'm kind of just asking everyone the same questions. And I don't know. So the one question I'm going to ask you, what's the worst or the best gift you've ever received for Christmas?
Oh man, worst or best gift? I think the best gift was probably when I was much younger, maybe 10 or a little younger. I got when the Super Nintendo was new, I got that as a gift with a few games. Speaking of Mario,
Oh yeah.
Super Mario World 2 or 3 and Donkey Kong Country. Those are games I put hours and hours and hours into.
Yeah.
Um, and then worst gift, I don't really have a worst gift, but you reminded me of something. Um, I was such a bad kid to my parents that I still like once I turned 21, 24, I started feeling the guilt. So I still to this day I tell my parents, I beg them, please don't get me anything. Let's just hang out together because I feel so bad. I really was bad, man. I was always grounded, always doing something.
Wow.
Yeah, just I was just a bad kid. I always pushed boundaries. So I still feel guilty. So I always just ask them to please not get me anything. Let me play some karma back to you by not having to buy me anything. So yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember which guest said it now, but it'll it'll probably be like 20 minutes ago as this episode plays, but somebody said they actually got coal in their stocking. Did you ever? I'm guessing you never got actual coal.
No, that's really funny. No.
Yeah. And then so I I bet you I could at this point right now, if I had to sit down, I could write out what your top 10 could be because we host a weekly show every week. We talk about what our movies would be. But what are like one or two movies that you would suggest to people they run out and see or stream at home that you think could make your top 10 or top 20? Um,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
tell me your
yeah.
number one because we
Well,
gotta.
no, I don't know what it is. I don't
Yeah,
know what it
yeah,
is right now. But because we just recently talked about it, Flora and Son is a
yeah,
great movie. It's underseen. It's not getting any awards. Flora and Son is so, so, so good.
yeah. I
Um,
agree.
of of course, The Holdovers. We've talked about it on our podcast. That's probably what you would have guessed if you had to.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I
yeah.
love The Holdovers. I still love it. And then let me just think for a minute.
I think
American
the
Fiction.
holdovers. Sorry, I think the
Yeah.
holdovers is one that I'm gonna watch again like around Christmas time and just kind of let that movie kind of wash over me again. But
Yeah, I'm planning on having Christmas here at my place with my mom's gonna come, my dad, a couple other like random people that are
nice.
around my family, and I'm gonna play it on the. I'm planning to just play it on the TV,
Yeah.
have it playing, because it'll just be one of those great movies to have in the background.
Yeah.
Anatomy of a Fall, I really loved.
True. Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so that's probably. I'm just kind of quickly scrolling through. Oh, you know what else? When Evil Lurks, awesome horror
Yes.
movie. Awesome
Yes.
horror movie.
Okay. Well, that's
And
good.
that one's hard to recommend, any listeners listening.
Oh,
If you don't like horror, if you don't like gore, if you are trying to watch something with family or kids, that is
yeah.
not what you're going for. It's totally an adult movie. It's for
Doesn't
horror fans. Yeah.
doesn't hold anything back. So if like you're a little squeamish, I would stay away for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've never talked about this. I don't know if you like Christmas movies, if you ever watch them. I know you like the holdovers, but like, what is or was a classic for you that was like always played when you were young, or your favorite Christmas movie?
Yeah, A Christmas Story comes to mind as one I've seen so many times, right?
Yeah.
Because I think in the United States, I think on TBS or TNT, that would play 24 hours around the clock. As soon as it
Hmm.
ends, it would start again. So I've seen that one so many times. So I don't know if it's my favorite. It's just one I've seen a million times. And actually, this is kind of a funny story about a movie. For some reason, when I was about 12 or so, my mom thinks or tries to make it so by saying it that Groundhog Day is a Christmas movie. And I know there's snow in it, but Groundhog
Mm,
Day is like in February. So
mm,
so lots of years we watched Groundhog Day with Bill Murray.
mm.
And
I was watching, reading a list of like 30 non-Christmas movies for people who don't really like Christmas movies, and it was on there because
funny.
I think there is something, he says a line at some point about um Christmas, so it's kind of insinuated that he's had Christmas for however many days he's had, that day, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
that movie is so layered and so cool.
Yeah.
The religious Christians or Catholics, they've kind of co-opted that movie because they show it as a
Purgatory.
fable. Yeah, yeah, he's in purgatory,
Mm,
right? It's a
mm.
fable, it's a tale to show you need to do and be your best person to escape or go to heaven or whatever. And that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm not a religious person, but it's nice because that's
Yeah.
a good message. I like the good messages that religion can bring.
I watched it for the first time a few years ago, and I thought it was just gonna be like another '80s, '90s, like blah, fat,
Oh,
it's
really? You
good.
hadn't seen it as a kid?
Yeah, no, and I thought it was just gonna be like, I kind of conflated it with Caddyshack because they both have like,
Right.
a small animal, like brown animal, and no, this, it really blew me away. I was emotional by the end, and it has a lot more depth than I thought it would. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's great.
yeah,
And that's another one that's like anyone of all ages can watch it. It's a great
exactly,
movie.
exactly. Well, I'm gonna let you go. I just wanted to borrow you for a couple minutes and say Merry Christmas and have you on here. You
Cool,
and I
man.
are gonna talk several times before then, I'm sure. And
Yeah.
then, man, I'm so excited for after Christmas. I've got time off, and hopefully my theaters are just full of like Poor Things and American Fiction and all this stuff. But
Zone of
we'll
Interest
see.
and
Yeah,
Iron Claw. And yeah,
yeah.
we've got a ton coming. I'm so looking forward to it. So you're meeting
Me
with
too.
Avery next, right?
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna send them the invite right after this. So
Cool. So
yeah.
will you answer all these questions you've asked me that I can listen to later?
I don't know. I did answer one of them with somebody, so maybe I'll have
I'd
to
like to
have.
hear them.
Okay, all right. You're just being nice, but thank you.
Well, no, I mean, you're asking everyone. I'd like to hear your answers to them.
Yeah, I'll have to. Maybe I'll get you back on or someone and get you to ask me or something.
Yeah, we could do the first 5 minutes
That
of
way.
our show. I'll ask you the same questions.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
All
Well,
right, cool.
everyone, that's Ant. You can hear him and I over at the Hollywood Persona and all podcasts and YouTube places. So, thanks,
Sweet.
Ant.
Yeah, man. Have a good night. Good
Okay,
to talk
you
to you.
too.
All right.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. There, How's it going, Avery?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Oh, is that your like your what's it called? The movie chronological in colored
It
order.
is up there. Yeah, yeah.
What
Lion King.
movie? Lion King. Oh, that's my favorite animated movie. So
It's great.
I feel you. Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Are we getting into it? Are we on? What's going on?
Yeah, I just started recording right from the beginning. Recording it all from Zoom. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah,
Uh,
happy to be on.
yeah, how was the Chateau Maman or from with Florence and DVK and the other two and three?
Very fun. I always love going there. It's such a fun slice of kind of old Hollywood, and it's got that more laid back vibe where it's sort of that understated Hollywood instead of something like the Roosevelt or the W where people are going there to get shit faced and party. It feels much
Right.
more like where actual movers and shakers are going. Like it was funny as I'm waiting for Brian to make it out of his car. I think there was like a Portuguese rock band there. There were like
Oh,
two guys with long gray hair. They must have been in their 60s or late 50s or something like that. And a couple people came to take photos with them. Like I have no idea
you
who the
should
fuck
have
these
just
people
said,
are, but it's the
"Oh my
most
God, I
LA.
love you guys."
Yeah,
It was
it's
probably
super LA,
yeah,
but yeah,
ZZ
it was a
Top.
blast.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And because I talked to Florence and she was telling me how great it was, and we were talking later because she said that she almost had a run in with Miley Cyrus. She heard she was there, and I had actually seen a picture of Miley Cyrus saying she was there, like the same weekend she was there.
Oh, that would have been great.
I thought it was cool, so she put it on her podcast, just talking about that. But I was just gonna ask you a couple Christmas related questions, movie related questions, and then I'll let you go. Won't keep you too
Yeah, yeah.
long. So this time of year, like, do you like Christmas? Do you watch a Christmas movie? Like, what do you hate Christmas movies? What are you watching?
I'm not that Christmassy, I don't think, in terms of watching movies. I feel like the only two that I do every year are Charlie Brown Christmas and Die
Yeah,
Hard. Those are
yeah.
pretty much the only two I go for. Other than that, I don't really.
What about when you were young?
Yeah, I think I remember one of the first movies that scared the absolute shit out of me was the claymation Rudolph, the
Oh,
abominable snowman. It fucked with me so bad. I don't know
I
why,
agree.
but it was the first thing I remember seeing in a movie that just absolutely terrified me. So to this
I
day, I have negative feelings about that entire.
I watch it every year, and it was great. I love that one, but yes, it did scare the shit out of me every year as well. I agree.
And then
Um,
I think one of the other ones too that I'm sort of the odd man out is I know almost every single person universally loves Home Alone,
yep,
and I cannot stand it. I cannot
really,
watch it ever again. It just makes me so upset that the way they bully him in the beginning that I'm just out.
yeah,
I always have had such a strong reaction to that particular brand of late 80s or
mm,
90s bullying that just I fortunately was not bullied that much as a kid, but it just I've always really hated and responded poorly to seeing that portrayed sort of in that
yeah,
kind of uniquely 90s way. Like probably my least favorite movie of all time. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I absolutely fucking hated it. Every time I was made to watch it was Matilda. I hate that fucking movie.
me
It is such a
too.
mean, awful, terrible movie that I do not
Yeah,
know why we subject children to. It's horrific. I hate it. I hate it so much. And to me, Home Alone is like Matilda light with that. It
yeah.
just upsets me, and I have no desire to watch it.
I'm that's so crazy because I was there with Home Alone. I don't watch the second one, but the first one I can watch now and I don't hate it as much as I used to.
Yeah,
And but Matilda, oh man, people used to put that on all the time.
and I don't know
Um,
why. I don't get it.
it just it made me so angry watching like people get bullied and
Yeah,
sure it has a happy ending, but I'm frustrated for 60, 70 minutes getting there.
yeah. I mean,
So
sort of Schindler's List. So it's like, like I don't need to see it. It's horrible.
yes.
Horrible.
So what have you seen so far in 2023 that you think could make it into your top 10 or top 5. You don't have to give me your number one, but like I've listened to so many episodes. I'm sure Bottoms is up there for you.
Yeah.
Um,
I love Bottoms. Blackberry is still holding strong. It's going to be
Yeah.
hard to dethrone that. I really enjoyed that.
yeah.
It's a bummer that it's, I mean, at least people can see it now, but I don't know how many living human beings have AMC Plus as a
Right.
streaming service. So I don't know if if I know anybody who has that. I still really like Barbie.
Yeah.
Barbie was great to me.
Yeah.
A last minute edition, like recently, I really, really enjoyed Godzilla -1. I was totally blown
Seeing
away
this
by it.
weekend. Yeah.
It's so good. I've ever since I was a little kid was obsessed with Godzilla. My mom was, so she had me watch all the ones on VHS, just the classic 60s, 70s, 80s Toho classic. So I've always loved that, which I think is why I never really got into Power Rangers, because to me, I was like, Power Rangers is whack as fuck compared to Godzilla. Godzilla is way cooler of just these giant monsters destroying cities compared to just the fighting Power Rangers. But
The
I was
fake punching.
exactly. I was obsessed with Godzilla, and like I'll watch anything in theaters. That's Godzilla.
Yeah.
I'm one of those
Yeah.
that where it's like Fast
Me
and
too.
Furious. I just I'll see it. But this one is I think the best one that they've made since I honestly can't remember. Probably that and Shin Godzilla. They're really good flip side of the set of like different sides of the same coin. I really enjoy both of those, but I think this is probably the best Godzilla movie in 30 years.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. I really enjoyed that. And then of course the holdovers. I was so delighted by that movie. And I think that will become, I don't know if I'll need to see it every year, but I definitely see myself watching that regularly around Christmas time. It's such a good it's weird because it's sad, but at the same time it's heartwarming, and it has this really cathartic feeling to it, and it finds a really good way to sort of capture that loneliness that a lot of people feel, myself included, around the holidays, but to bring it around to something that is joyful and poignant and just really fun to watch.
Yeah, you just gave me chills just thinking about it, because it's three different characters and you're getting this perspective from these three different characters, like and their loneliness and their sadness, but they're also like they're putting on a show. It's so beautiful throughout, and then the happiness that, as it goes along. So it's just
great.
so rooted in reality. So that's I'm glad you like that one too. I didn't know you saw that one. I know Anderson really liked it, but
yeah, I really enjoyed that. And then I honestly, I can't even fully explain why, but I really enjoyed May December. That's one of those ones where I'm not quite sure what they were trying to say, but I think a lot of it had to do with seeing it in theaters, which is which I thought was really interesting, where I saw that in theaters, and I saw, well, honestly, I've seen all of the three major Netflix ones in theaters: Maestro, May December, and The Killer. And I think all of them, I mean, it goes without saying that a movie is better when you see it in theaters, but I think specifically for May December and The Killer, seeing it with an audience really made a difference in terms of the jokes and the humor landing, and everybody sort of collectively getting there. Because there's an old adage in stand up where sort of the more people you put in a room, the smarter they become, the better they are at being a bullshit detector. So people get the joke a lot quicker when you get more people in that room, so the audience can really hone in. And I think the same can be true of movies. So I know that when Anderson saw, honestly, I think both, he kind of wasn't sure what to make of the humor in both of them. Less so more so with The Killer, a little less so with May December. But I think seeing it with an audience really made the tone and the joke and the cadence feel really clear, and that really rang through with May December. It was really funny seeing it in theaters. It was a really enjoyable experience seeing it there with people, and I think that really put it over the top for me. And I really enjoyed the performances. It was really fun watching everybody in that movie just be just fucked up.
Oh,
and just so enjoyable to watch Natalie Portman and Julianne Moore chew the scenery. So I'm really surprised that that sort of had the staying power that it's had with me. Because I would not have guessed that. And again, I can't even really put my finger on it, but there was something about it that I
Yeah.
found very compelling and enjoyed.
Well, I'll be really interested to hear your take on Leave the World Behind if you end up seeing it with Julia Roberts, that new one on Netflix, because no one really got
Yeah,
to see it in theaters.
yeah, that one's an interesting one because it's so hard to know with Netflix because you'll see all this stuff advertised and
Yeah.
there's it's sort of gotten to the point where at least with me, unless it's something with big Oscar buzz like Maestro or May December or something that's with a big director like Fincher with The Killer, it's
Yeah.
kind of I kind of just disregard it out of hand because there's really no way of knowing if it's going to be something good or it's going to be like that god awful Gal Gadot movie, whatever the hell that
Oh
was, like
yeah.
Snowy Winter, whatever the fuck that.
Heart of Stone. Yeah.
Yeah, just garbage. So it's so hard to know. So with that, you almost have to rely on just buzz and word of mouth. Like I don't even know if that was. I'm sure somewhere one of the Netflix theaters is showing that, but
It, they said it was in select theaters at one point. I really liked it. Like, did you ever watch Mr. Robot?
I did. I watched the first season, maybe second season.
Okay, because it's from the creator of that, so he's definitely got a unique vision, and I really liked it. So I'd be interested to hear what you say. It's a little over 2 hours, so it is a commitment, but it would.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really I'm excited to once the boys are back from the holiday break. I'm excited to
Mhm.
talk Maestro because I really enjoyed that. And I
I
think that
can't
was
wait.
elevated by the theater experience, not so much seeing it with other people, but seeing it in that large format because it's so beautifully shot.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious on their take on Bradley Cooper's performance because Carey Mulligan, it was phenomenal. I mean, she should
Yeah.
get certainly the nomination, if not just
Yeah.
outright the Oscar. She was spectacular. But the friends I went with, I definitely enjoyed the Bradley Cooper performance the most out of them, which I thought was interesting. So I'm kind of curious how Brian and Anderson respond to it. Because for me, it worked. I found him really
Huh.
charming, really engaging, and kind of like how we talked about with Napoleon, the entire movie hinges on their relationship. I didn't buy
Yeah.
it with Napoleon, so I was
Me
out.
neither.
But I really it really resonated with me with Maestro.
Oh.
So I'm very curious what they think about it. So I'm not sure where that lands. Uh, on my list at the end of the year. I think it's going to be like one of those like Saltburn where talking about it, you get more out of it. And again,
Yeah.
speaking of Saltburn, I have no idea where that lands. It was
Yeah.
such a weird.
So
Have you
weird.
seen it?
Yeah, I loved it. I
It it's such a weird, fucked up movie where I don't know where it lands. Where I was
Yeah, me
talking to.
neither.
I was at my at the party over the weekend, and we were talking movies, and one of the guys there is in the industry was saying, I think that's his second favorite movie of the year, and it kind of surprised me, not because it's not great, but because I
Yeah.
thought, oh yeah, this could be someone's favorite movie, where it's almost in its own category of it's not enjoyable, but it's unenjoyable in this weird way that is
Yeah.
enjoyable, and it's very hard to define and compare it to other movies. Was it
Yeah.
as fun as Barbie? No, but was it very compelling? Certainly. So I don't quite know where that falls, but it's not for everybody, but it's definitely worth um checking out. And I actually did you see Boy and the Heron?
No, not yet. I'm probably gonna see it this weekend as well because I got some free time.
So that was I really enjoyed that. I saw that
Oh
in
wow.
the Japanese dub this past weekend. Not dubbed. Saw it in the original Japanese with the English subtitles.
Okay.
Uh and it's interesting with those movies where again, it's another hard one to throw on an end of the year list because it's so its own thing. It was
Yeah.
obviously genius and fantastic, but he never panders. It's not seeing a Pixar movie where you walk out of there going, "Oh my god, I totally got that. I went on
Yeah.
this clear journey. It was really fulfilling." It's this very thought provoking. He makes very thought provoking and sometimes disturbing and unsettling. images and themes, and you're not quite sure what he's saying. It's never spoon fed, so that was very enjoyable. But again, it's one of those where I'm not quite sure where that would fall on the
Yeah.
list. So it's tough for me at the end of the year putting those together, because I never quite know where to put those
Yeah.
unpleasant movies. Like, for example, I just saw Eileen today
Oh,
uh with Anne Hathaway.
yeah. My
And
co-host saw that over at the Hollywood Persona. He enjoyed
yeah,
it, but it's a little odd. He said.
yeah, it's a little odd, and I didn't love it. It was sort of in
Yeah.
that same category of the Saltburns of the world, where I don't know if you're
Hmm.
supposed to enjoy watching it, um, or even May, December, but less humor, a little more in the realm of Saltburn, where I don't quite know where to put that one, but I didn't enjoy it as much. That one was a little more clear to me. I could kind of see at least the flaws as I perceive them in Eileen. So for me, I liked it, but I didn't love it. I don't think everyone has to run out and see it, but it's interesting when a movie is 4 stars or higher, like a Saltburn, where I don't quite know where it fits
Yeah.
on that spectrum for me. I
I
still don't quite know where to rate enjoyability versus, it's tough.
that's great to hear, because I'm honestly I feel the exact same way. Like I Saltburn, I know I enjoyed it, and but who would I recommend it to? I don't know where it's going to land on my list. I could see it in my top 10, but also not. I don't know.
And
It's a
I
wild one.
I never need to see that again.
Yeah, I know.
I
I
don't.
know.
I
No.
I think something I would dread in the future is like if a girlfriend went, oh, I want to see Saltburn, of just okay. I
All
mean, I
right.
guess you really want to see this, but because it's one of those, I just have no yet real need to see it again. It had enough staying power for me of just, all right, I think I get what they were trying to say, at least enough.
Yeah.
And there are scenes in that movie that will stay with me.
Can I ask you one question about that movie? And
Yeah, yeah.
it's a little spoilery. But it's not like, so. For anyone listening, don't worry. But do you think there was reciprocated love on both ends of that relationship? If you know what I
Eh,
mean?
like romantically,
Yeah.
that's what's interesting, is I'm not even sure either end had romantic
Okay. Yeah, and I'm trying to
feelings.
parse that out in my head, because it felt very romantic at times, but then by the end you're like, maybe not. I
But
don't
I'm not
know.
even sure if I'm not even sure if anyone has romantic feelings for anyone in that, because it's with people who there's sociopaths out there, right, who are very good at faking emotions
Yeah.
and are
Yeah.
womanizers and whatnot. uh, uh, does that mean that there's love there, or does it
Yeah.
mean that they're sort of gratifying their own ego, or are they simply using people to get what they want, and that's just one of the most powerful weapons? So i I I don't know if there was really romantic love in either direction. I think if there was anything, it was coming from one direction, and it would be part of the perverse thing
Okay.
he had going on,
Okay.
and part of that drive he had. I think if anything, it's sort of like those people who the, get off by being mean or abusive, or by doing certain things that aren't even
Yeah.
sexual. That's
Yeah.
the only way that they can feel that rush. Or those like adrenaline junkies who the only way they feel alive is jumping out of a plane or something like that. I think it's more akin to that than something truly romantic.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still trying to like I've 2 weeks
But
ago.
I don't
And
know.
yeah, I don't either. That's what I mean. I look to you for guidance, and I still have none. So
Yeah, it was, and it's one of those where I'm sure my brain will keep chewing on it, but part of it, my brain, part of my brain is also going, I think I had enough. I don't know if I
yeah.
need to think any more about it. It was, I saw it. I did my thinking, and
Yeah. So two more things. One, I was just gonna say, I like, you were one of the first episodes I did, and you have ruined me for stand-up comedy on TikTok and on
how so?
Reels. because now every time I see it, I'm like, oh, this person's really funny, but it's just crowd work. And you have opened
Yeah.
my eyes to that. So I think of you every time I see a stand-up comedian just doing crowd work, putting it on Instagram, gaining this attraction, but it's like they don't have to put up any of their material and burn it. And
Yeah.
now it's been 8 months and I still think of that. And I'm like, thanks, Avery.
That's the game. That's the
Yeah.
game. I mean, we've reached the pinnacle of that with Matt Rife.
Yeah, yeah, and do you like him? Apparently, his Netflix guest special was garbage. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
So I didn't watch the special. So what I will say, if from what I heard, it doesn't sound like the special is great.
Yeah,
Um, and I'm not quite sure about how he, the creative choices he made in terms of um uh his audience and the material to focus on. But what I
yeah,
will say in Matt Rife's defense is he has put in his time. So even though he's only I think 29,
yeah,
he's been doing stand up since he was like 16.
yeah,
So he's been doing stand up like 10, 12 years. So he's paid his dues, which I think a
yeah.
lot of people see his age and they go, well, fuck this guy. Where did he come from? He's a lot like Taylor Tomlinson in that regard, where she also started when she was 16. I mean, Eddie Murphy
Yeah,
started when he was 15. I think Eddie's funnier than both of those
of
people.
course. Yeah,
But the comparison still stands where they've paid their dues. And the other thing I've heard about Matt Rife is universally, I've heard that he's an extremely nice person. So
yeah,
even though he gets a lot of hate and backlash, and maybe justifiably so for it, maybe not being as funny as his
yeah,
crowd work, he, from what I've heard, is aware of that and
yeah.
is trying to work very hard on getting better at that. So it's
And
tough, when you blow up in that way.
yeah, and him and Taylor are both like very attractive people. So, and
Yeah.
that kind of hurts them too, right? When the 80s and 90s, the comedians were not necessarily sexy.
Yeah.
So
And it makes it easier for you to blow up quicker when you
yeah,
are attractive. And
yes,
I would say in Taylor's case, she was much more prepared for it
yeah,
than
I
Matt
love her.
was.
Yeah,
So I think it can be tough when you find that fame really quickly, and it can be tough to navigate, um, especially if you haven't, yeah, and not putting the time, but if you're not prepared,
yeah,
if you don't have those sort of chops or have that hour laid out, because what are you going to do? I mean, in his defense, what are you going to do? Turn that money down?
yeah,
You're getting offers to get thousands and thousands of dollars each
yeah,
weekend, perform an hour. Let's say you have fucking 20 minutes. What are you going to say?
yeah,
No, you're gonna try it. And if keep getting people to come out, Netflix offers you whatever amount they offered him, fuck yeah, you're gonna
yeah.
take that deal
You're
and
not gonna stop.
hope for the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
So uh yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I'm sorry I've kept you so long. I have one more question that I've been
Yeah,
asking
yeah.
everyone, and then I can let you go. What's best or worst gift you've ever received for Christmas?
Best or worst gift I've ever received? That is a tough one. I feel like probably best was in one year I got a new TV for my room and a GameCube, and that was
Mm,
probably the best. I don't think it will top that for
yeah,
Christmas of getting Super Smash and a TV for my room on the same. I don't think
no,
anything.
no,
I think my every one of my children could be born on Christmas Day, and I don't think that I don't think that'll top the feeling of
yeah,
the first console that you own.
yeah.
I think it's got to be that. As far as worst, I don't know. Uh,
That's a harder one. I haven't had too
yeah,
many people answer it.
none stand out as particularly horrendous. I'll say the worst gift I've seen given, and I still have not forgiven my buddy for this. My buddy Scott, who's a comic, he and a bunch of comics that we know, we did a Secret Santa last year, or a white elephant,
Yeah,
and the standard stuff, $20 limit, this and
yeah.
that. So people are bringing a bunch of different stuff, and he ends up bringing just a single box of cinnamon toast crunch, and there's no inside joke there. It's not like that's a thing or anybody admit, just a single box of cinnamon toast crunch.
like $3.99.
Yeah, and I go, what? Like what the fuck? And he went, well, it says up to 20. You don't have to spend 20. And this is so not who he is. He's normally a very nice, considerate guy. I'm like, what the? And at the same time, for the white elephant, he's taking the cashmere blanket, the nicest gift. I'm like, what has gotten into you? This whole thing. He just kept going, well, because it's funny that I just got this cereal box. I'm like, no, you're an asshole. It'd be funny if you got $20 worth of cereal, if you got like five boxes of them, or you got a box of cereal and the same cereal, like with a t-shirt and socks, and went over the top. You getting a single box of cereal is just a middle finger. That's not funny. Like, it'd be funny if your only gift was a box of condoms. That would be funny. Yeah. Is it the funniest thing? No, but that you could make the argument that this is a funny gift. You getting just a fucking box of cereal. That'd be like giving a jar of peanut butter. You're just a dick.
True. You're still talking about it today. So, I mean, it resonated a little bit, but that is kind of funny now. But on the night of, people must have been passing that box around, just cursing whoever brought it.
Me and my friend, well, everybody else was trying to be nice, but me and my friend Macy, who we've known Scott for years, we're both just giving him so much, just actually mad, not just giving him shit, of just actually sort of horrified and embarrassed that he was our friend at this event, of just, what is wrong with you? I cannot believe you did this in front of human beings.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining me. I still think you need to have a podcast with someone where you just talk about comedy, because your insights on that are just so great.
I appreciate it, Mitch.
I could hear you talk about comedy like all day. You have such great insights, but
it's something I waste a lot of time on. So,
well, I mean, I waste time on this, so I get it. But Merry Christmas! Thank you for jumping on with me. I kept you way longer than I said I would.
No, quite all right. I had fun. I caught the Christmas spirit, and I hope you have a great Christmas too.
All right, thanks, buddy. Have a good night.
All right, Mitch. You too.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Perfect. All right. I'm still here, everyone. This is like my 6th or 7th, I think. We've had Florence and Eric and Gio and everybody. Now I've got Mike, who was my last guest before this episode. We did top 5 movies with one-word titles. How's it going, Mike?
Pretty good. Feeling the holiday spirit these days. Thanks for having me on again, Mitch. Appreciate it.
Oh, good. I had fun last time. You're easy to chat with, so it's good to have those people back. I'm trying to get everyone. I've got Alex Simpson, I think, coming up, and I don't know. Well, Andrew Martin was going to. It's a crazy wide world of the film VaultERS. So thank you for joining.
Cool. We got our own cinematic universe here. Watch out, MCU.
So I'm gonna start with. I might have asked you this on our last episode, but what do you see making it into your top 5 of the year?
My top 5 of the year? Well, I in fact have my top 5 of the year. Kind of set already. I don't want to tell you exactly, because I'm going to have my own, reveal on a podcast and such. But
give me like one that you think people should watch, maybe underrated.
Okay, let me consider that.
Okay.
Because that's a good metric, because there's the ones that I like and everyone knows about. They've been talked to death.
Yeah.
Here's one. All right. Here's a movie I can talk about. I don't know if this is out yet. I saw it at the New York Film Festival. No, it'll be out around Christmas Day. It's coming out the 22nd, it says.
Okay.
And it's a movie called All of Us Strangers.
Oh.
All of Us Strangers, which is from Andrew Hay. Hi.
Mm-hmm.
He did Weekend was the only movie I've seen from him, which is just this kind of indie gay romance movie that's really well done, and like a thoughtful little movie. It's on Criterion.
Okay.
But anyway, this is his he has some other movies. I can't really tell you his whole career, but this is the biggest follow-up since that, and it stars Andrew Scott, and who's a great actor, incredible in this, and Paul Mescal, who is now, and Jamie Bell, Claire Foy, some other people. But Paul Mescal, I just want to shout him out as one of the emerging really great actors that's coming out of young actors of this generation. He was in After Sun, and he killed it. And now he's in this, All of Us Strangers, and he is just so like so expressive, so believable, and empathetic as the struggles he goes through, and likewise for Andrew Scott.
Yeah. Is Paul Mescal gay? Because this is now his
No,
second...
I think he's not. I could be wrong. I
okay.
think he's not, but I think Andrew Scott is.
Yeah, okay.
I could be wrong about that.
There's someone in the Cinematics Facebook group that has seen it and is really raving about it. So
it's that good.
yeah.
Shout out to them. Shout out to them.
Oh, I gotta figure. I gotta remember who it was. Oh, William Lindis. He was talking about it, and he was really. It sounds like it's gonna be a movie that's gonna hit with me really deep. So
yeah, it does a little bit of it does the thing I love maybe most in movies, and I always gear towards, because it does a little fantasy, not like a whole on. I mean, I like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and all that for sure, but I mean, it's a different thing. I like when a movie does like a little fantasy, just creeping into the, let's play with the fact that this isn't a documentary and this didn't really happen. Let's explore the bends of reality.
Okay, that's cool.
This does this with sort of Andrew Scott searching, or his character searching through his past and how he felt, and his parents passing, and that it's a I don't really want to spoil it, because the way it unfolded was interesting to me. So
have you gotten to see American Fiction yet?
That's pretty hot off the presses, Mitch. And no, I haven't got to it yet. That was like this week, maybe it came out. Am I wrong?
No, I was only asking because you did the New York Film Festival, I think, or
oh, it might have been there, and I didn't get to that one.
Okay,
it looks, Jeffrey Wright's great though.
Yeah, my co-host over at the Hollywood Persona, he got to go see it as like a surprise screening. He like one of those screenings where you don't know what's playing.
Oh, okay, that's very cool.
And he's just in love with it and says it's a great satire, but that's just going to make it into his top 5, like, for sure. So
yeah, I mean, Jeffrey Wright's a damn good actor, so I'm glad he's getting like a big starring role, because I don't know, when I think of him, I think of a lot of supporting roles that he's done, but
yeah, a lot of supporting roles, and like he's in movies, but it's like such a big movie that he kind of gets lost in it and stuff like that. So I'd be happy to see him in more stuff. Just like when I said the same thing about Barry Keoghan in Saltburn.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, I just saw that, and I was like, I am so happy to see him as a main character in a movie, because he's always a side character. So I loved him in that movie.
Oh yeah. One other movie I want to shout out to that I think people maybe don't know about or won't see, or even haven't heard of, is a movie called Godland. And I'm calling it, I think it's one of those weird ones where it came out last year. At some festival, but like your average person couldn't have seen it until this year.
Yeah, that's what I go by with my list. If it was a festival, and and so it says a 2022 release, but we couldn't have seen it until 2023, then it goes on my 2023 list. So
yeah, and clearly I agree with you there. It's a Danish movie about this priest in the 19th century who goes is Danish, but he travels to Iceland to set up a church there.
Okay.
And it's, without spoiling anything, it's sort of like he's kind of goes on a philanthropic, I say the right, philanthropic mission.
Yeah.
That he's like, I'm here to spread understanding and contentment and the word of God or whatever. So in his mind, it's very just, but you slowly find it's, maybe you're not always welcome going to a new
so
country.
Well received.
Yeah, and it's not like a horror movie by any means, but it's like maybe he's not welcomed. But what's particularly amazing for me is this movie just looks immaculate. The cinematography is so good. I believe it was shot on film, like 35 millimeter. I could be wrong about that, because it has just this beautiful kind of grainy, pristine look. Oh, the lighting across the like ice landscapes are like tremendous.
I love anything shot in Iceland or like that. I'm so in. Did you say Iceland?
Yeah. He
Okay,
travels
good.
to set up it's a Danish territory of Iceland. So
Okay.
honestly,
yeah.
I'm sorry if I'm getting some of the geographic things wrong about this because I didn't fully. Maybe I missed some of that. But
You
I
better
think
be
that's.
sorry.
Please forgive me. But it's yeah. So there's something about I think it's a Danish territory of Iceland. So I had to like look up some history after this. I was like, wait, who owned what country when? And
right.
so
It's so difficult.
sometimes you watch a foreign movie and they're like expecting you to understand the history of the country it's taking place in. You're like, this is so subtle to somebody who's not from there that I'm not getting
Yeah.
that. But I highly recommend that movie. It's very slow. It moves at a snail's pace. So if you're one of those people who can't take like a really, really slow movie, I'd say it's not for everyone. But if you see all the movies that are generally talked about and you're looking for something a little out of the realm of the mainstream, I feel like this is a nice balance.
Okay.
Really good film.
I like slow movies. So I'm down.
And that's Godland again, because in case anyone didn't get that.
I wrote it down, but some people might be driving or working. Who knows?
It's true. I'll say it twice.
So it actually reminds me of this 2023 documentary that just came out that I want to watch called The Mission.
Okay.
And it's about this guy in 2018 named John Allen Chow. He was an American missionary, and he went over to this island that like nobody's ever been to, called the Sentinelese, like the Sentinel Island or something. And he was. Do you remember hearing about this story?
I kind of know this story. I mean, I think I do, but I'm not sure it's the exact.
He was killed like immediately.
Yeah, this is like a while ago. It's not like a new. I mean, it's a new movie, but the story is older, I believe.
Yeah, it happened in 2018.
Okay, yeah.
And he went over there and he was like killed immediately by these people, but he was trying to spread the word of God to these people who didn't like maybe know about God, right?
Yeah.
So
right,
I want to watch that, but
interesting. Okay.
And then I don't know. I think we talked the last good movie. I asked you the last good movie you saw on the last episode, but has it changed?
It has. It gets been because it's been a bit since we spoke.
Yeah.
Wait. Well, let me make sure. When did we speak?
I swear we talked about Saltburn.
Saltburn. Yeah, that's what it was. Because I think I had just seen it recently.
Yeah.
We talked before Thanksgiving, right? So
yeah.
I watched a movie coming home from visiting my parents and my family on the train.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie absolutely blew me away. I'm telling everybody I can about it. It's from 1957.
Oh.
Did by Elia Kazan, great filmmaker who did On the Waterfront and Streetcar Named Desire, East of Eden, some of the best films of that era. It's called A Face in the Crowd. A Face in the Crowd, and it stars Andy Griffith in his film debut. If you don't know Andy Griffith, you're probably not an old person, and that's why, because he is most famous for the Andy Griffith Show, where he played this really good old sheriff that was like just a true positive, forthright, moral individual. And
if I could whistle, I would do the theme song, but
it is that, yeah. I don't want to subject people to it. They can Google it.
Yeah.
But so the story, and this is Andy Griffith's film debut. It's basically about how he became famous, and he is. Wow. I'm not exaggerating. He is sensational in this movie.
Really?
I'm absolutely blown away by his performance. He's this kind of small town, alcoholic musician, but also is sort of just in jail when they find him. And this woman, played by Patricia Neal, works for like a radio and is interviews him. He turns out to be really charismatic and can play and sing. And that from that radio spot, he gets another radio spot, and he becomes increasingly famous. And it's basically a story of his ego getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And there's even a line in this movie where his ego is growing and growing, and he says, "I'm an influencer." And I was taken back. I was like, oh my God, this is 1957, and Andy Griffith he's calling himself an influencer. His character is Lonesome Rhodes, and that's who he's like, and he keeps pronouncing that. And he's so good in this movie. It's so well shot, and it's great commentary about, you know, the ills of fame. And you know, you watch this movie like, because he sort of becomes like a morally unsound person more and more as it goes on. And the question I had myself asking was he always this person and the fame sort of exploited it, or did the fame do this to him? So I think that's something, especially with social media and stuff, is more relevant than ever.
Yeah.
Blew me away. Also, Walter Matthau is in one of his first roles in this movie too.
Yeah, I was just looking it up, and that's I need to see this. I know I just heard somebody talking about it and talking very highly about it as well. So you're the second person now in my life that has said that. So I gotta watch this. It's on my watch list.
Oh, great. Yeah, it's
awesome.
It's a vote for everyone listening to watch.
Cool. So before we get into the game, what's the best or worst gift you've ever received?
The best or worst gift I've ever received. You know, it was always something that I think well, all right, I have two answers to this. One, the best gift I've ever received is honestly, as a kid, anytime I got something very large, if a very large box was waiting for me downstairs, it didn't matter what it was. The bigger, the more excited I was. And I don't know why, it was just like, whoa, I can't wait to see what I could crawl inside this. So whatever that would end up being, the largest gift would always excite me. Okay. And then the worst gift wasn't me, but I was told by my mom that my uncle, her brother, did get coal one year for Christmas because he was so mean to all his siblings. And as a kid, I was always like, oh, wow, I guess you can, like, you know, Santa doesn't mess around sometimes. And then as time went on, I was more and more like, wow, that's really a remarkable moment. So yeah, that was probably what I would say.
I gotta say, I didn't say this at the beginning, but I appreciate the hat. I took the hat off because I knew it was just gonna be too warm when I'm recording all day. But I appreciate you getting in the spirit with me. I got the Christmas sweater on for people that are just listening, and I haven't yet over this taken the time to tell everyone my favorite Christmas present. And
please, I'd love to hear.
I might as well do it now. I should say it at some point. I think my favorite was probably the N64. We were I don't know our age difference, but I think we talked about this.
Yeah, I think we're the same age.
We're about the same age. So my parents, they were waiting for their house to be built, but they had already sold the other house, so we had to rent this house.
Okay.
And it was over Christmas, so we're renting this house. It kind of sucked, but the house was cool. It had like one of those intercom systems, so we would you could like talk to somebody in another room in the bathroom. So we
oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was, but it was just different, right? Kind of uprooted your life. So my parents got us this N64 with Mario Kart, and I just remember laying on the floor, you know, Christmas Day, like, you know, and it was so much fun, a great memory. And
I don't know if it was for Christmas, but I'll never forget. I think it wasn't Christmas, but I remember when I got the N64, because it was the first time my parents let me play video games. I got Super Mario 64, and that was still to this day one of my favorite video games.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, Mario Kart's also like a perfect video game.
Nintendo like gets away with it, but they have some of the best games ever made. I mean, it's just the way it goes. But
their consistency is unmatched.
Exactly.
It's unbelievable.
Exactly. Actually, and I will say one of the worst gifts I ever got is a gift that I never ended up actually getting, but it was actually for my birthday, and my dad, it was the summer before, he had gotten me to start mowing the lawn. So he told me he would get me a new lawnmower for my birthday so that I could do the lawn. And
he Tom Sawyered you.
Yeah, I was like 15 or 16, and I remember like crying and believing him, or I might have been 14, I don't know. Yeah. And then he got me Pokemon Stadium 2 for the N64, and I was like, my heart, like, and I said to him, like, I thought you were getting me the lawnmower, and he's like, you believed that? And I'm like,
Oh,
you were very convincing. How dare you?
that's actually very funny of him. Now, look, like
It
hearing that
was.
story now, that's very funny of him.
But he didn't know that I believed it because he said it a couple times, and eventually I started to believe it. But anyways,
But then delighted to play the Pokemon Stadium too.
oh, amazing.
What a cool
So
game. Yeah, I remember that.
I've been playing this game all the way through. You have said you're gonna do it. You're gonna.
I do. You know what? And I think you might have said you don't remember, but I'm worried that I'm gonna pick one that somebody else already did. Am I to pick? Am I to pick my favorite or just whatever is
Your favorite or one you really like, and if it's one that's been done already, that's totally fine. Because you'll probably give me different clues, right, than they did, because they just but the ones Eric did were pretty what's the word I'm looking for, obscure movies. So
okay.
I don't know.
Okay,
Give it a
maybe.
shot.
All right, because I do have the one that I want to do, so I'm just
Okay.
going to do that. It doesn't seem like there's any reason not to.
Yeah.
So I can start with very obscure clues and work
Perfect.
up to more.
Yeah.
Okay. So the costume design from this movie was done by Anne Hollowwood and Polly Smith.
That's really obscure.
I just need to see if you can get it from this. Like,
could you imagine
that you're obsessed with this film?
I'm going to take a shot in the dark because costume design would be maybe a bigger thing in this movie. So I'm going to say The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
That was a very logical and good guess if I was thinking that way, but I was more just
You were just
messing
saying
around.
Yeah,
I'm being a little silly here. I'll be honest. The first
A
one
silly
I'm being a little
goose.
silly.
Get back in your pond.
All right, now I'll give you a realer one. Is this is one I think maybe if you know who this is, you might be able to put it together.
Okay.
The songs for the movie were
Mhm.
done by Paul Williams.
Paul Williams. not
Paul Williams.
I was just
And I'll say I know who this guy is for sure,
Yeah.
but I don't even know if I realized he did the songs until I was looking at this online a minute ago.
But I don't know who this guy is, really. But I know somebody was just talking about a movie where he does the songs in. So maybe it's this one. Okay, give me another one.
Okay, another hint. The director of this movie, his dad is much more famous for what he's doing than him.
So his dad's a director as well?
He's at least that, yeah.
At least that.
I'll say his first name is Brian. If that, I don't know if that means anything to you. His first name, I can't say his last name. Obviously, it'll tell too much. But the first name is Brian.
Oh, you just gave it away because I'll show you.
Oh, maybe.
So
I had a feeling.
I'm a huge fan of Mr. Henson, and I know his
Yes.
son Brian did Muppet Christmas Carol after he died. That was the first Muppet movie to be released after he died. So
Right. Did he work on it before he died, or did they start work after he died?
He died in 1990. So what year was the movie made? I don't
92. So it's like maybe he was at the very beginning of it.
Yeah. I always remember because he died, like, not always remember, but he died a month before I was born, Jim Henson. So I always felt like he left this world and I came into it, so maybe I'm him. No, I don't think
fine.
that.
I feel that way about Stevie Ray Vaughan because he died 2 days before I was born.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Merle Haggard, I don't even know if you know who that is, but Merle Haggard, the country singer, was born on April 6th, which is my birthday, and then he died on his birthday.
On the year you were born, or just
No, just a random. It's just random. I found it so weird because I always knew that him and I shared a birthday because my dad likes him, and then I looked at my phone on my birthday and it's like Merle Haggard died. I'm like, it's his birthday.
You got to give it to him to give in the coroner a flat number to work with.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I just read something the other day that says you never have a day the only 2 days in your life that aren't 24 hours are the day you're born and the day you die.
Ooh,
But I
that's
also
good.
think they could be 24 hours if you were born at like
You know, it would actually be very considerate to die the exact minute you were born a
right,
year later. It would just
right.
for everyone, it's everyone's sake.
Make it easy. All right, Mike. Thank you so much for joining me again.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Oh, you're the best. And hopefully we'll talk soon. Merry Christmas to you and yours. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
Likewise. Happy holidays.
Okay. Happy holidays. Bye, bud. Chill. All right. My next guest is somebody who, oh God, it's been a while now since
Do you
we
want me
recorded.
to flip my my thing for the because I'm on my phone. I don't know how you'd like to.
This is fine. This is fine.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's Alex Simpson, as you just heard. What was our top 5? I have the worst memory.
Disguises.
Top 5 disguises. Yes, I do remember that one very well. That was a really good episode. So, Alex, what is, you don't have to give us your favorite movie of the year, but what is like one of your favorite movies of the year so far, or a couple of them that you think could make it to your top 10, or some that you think people should see that maybe they haven't?
So I mean the ones that Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Godzilla -1 was a great time. I don't know that
Oh.
top 10 worthy, but it was a great time.
Yeah.
Boy in the Heron, I just saw that this morning. Great.
It's good.
So good. It's very, very good. Want to see it? I saw it in the dub, which was very, very good. Robert Pattinson put it on a very interesting, great performance. It wasn't just like a weird whispery voice or anything, or just his regular voice. It was like really fun performance.
Cool.
And so I want to hear it in the with subtitles now, and maybe now that I know everything, and I can actually enjoy it. But it was great. I had a really good time. It was like 9 a.m. this morning. So
wow, that's awesome.
Good.
Okay, well, you're actually the first person to say Oppenheimer on this episode. Not like because everyone's given me such different answers.
So far, whenever I go into my letterbox for this year, that's the one that I think I gave it a 4.5. That's the one that's at the top because I've seen it twice. I'm like, so it just sticks out. I'm like, okay, that's one for sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah, for sure.
I have to have letterbox pulled up. I can't remember anything right now.
Yeah, no, that's good. And I was gonna say, what's the last good movie you saw? But you just saw Godzilla -1. I was talking about that with, oh my God, in this exact episode with.
Did I tell you? Did I text you the circumstances I saw it in the 4DX?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't tell me that.
Oh my God. Yeah. No. My wife and I saw it. It was I have Fridays off, and she took Fridays off. She was with her work. It was our anniversary, and we were doing stuff at night. So I'm like, oh, let's just do a bunch of stuff in the morning as well, and together, and we'll go shopping in the afternoon for Christmas and grab like an ornament and stuff. But so we were like, oh, what movie is that? I got Godzilla's out. I'm like, oh, it's in 4DX too. And I have like the Regal pass, so it was like $7 for me. So it's like, I was like $25. It's supposed to be fun. Like I saw it for Blue Beetle. That's why I was like, hey, I had a great 95 minutes with it. It was whipping me around, and like it was a ton of fun. But and again, only 3 stars for that. But yeah, it was. So my wife and I were like, oh, let's go. It was like noon. It was like pretty full at noon on a Friday. I was like, oh damn, like pretty solid. I'm excited. So yeah, it was a good time. It was like we had out 2 hours. I'm like, there's no way anyone would go in there and leave and not say, hey, that was a hell of a time. It was insane. It was pure chaos.
The 4DX, like, I don't think we have them here in Canada yet, but it's one of those things, like when 3D came out, like all of us movie fans were like, no, we don't really want this. But people seem to really movie fans
I would not
seem to really
recommend
like
seeing.
this.
I would not recommend seeing like movies like like. I mean, this was insane. It was crazy. But
Like you wouldn't go see Maestro in 40X like or something.
no. I'm kind of disappointed. Like I want to see this like an IMAX now, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That isn't as distracting. But I mean, it's crazy. It's insane. Like they
That's awesome.
throw you all around because the fun thing is like it's calibrated for 4 people because it's like, but if I'm only one person sitting, my wife and I were sitting in it now, so it's a little bit more weight to it, but usually just me, so it's throwing me around like it's crazy.
Wow.
Which is just not an ideal way to see a movie, but hey, it's fun. It's like a ride. It's essentially like a theme park ride, which I would have,
Yeah, it's not the ideal way you want to see every movie, but every once in a while, right? It's a different change.
Yeah.
It adds the
For
experience.
like a big hamburger, a big Godzilla movie. Hell yeah! And even though this one had some weight to it, still recommend.
Oh, that's good. And then the other question I'm asking everybody: what's the best or the worst gift you ever received for Christmas? You can answer either or both. Well, your wife really needs to step it up. Do you want me to give me your email and I can?
No, I'm thinking. I mean, best. Gee, I keep thinking about worst. I'm like, what's a bad
I know
gift?
worst
like,
is hard.
I was like, I got a lump of coal one year from my parents as a joke because I did something that I didn't actually do anything bad, but I did something not great in their eyes, like right before Christmas,
Right.
and I was like, ah, damn. And then they gave me a lump of coal in my stocking. I'm like, oh, ha ha ha, very funny. So that was not a good gift, but it was a good joke. So that's something bad I got out of that.
That's funny.
I get good stuff. My wife, she's solid. All my
good.
family, pretty good.
That's awesome. I like your Shining shirt. That's really sweet.
I got it from Target. I don't know if it's actually, it's a little off center. It looks pretty similar. I dig it.
Yeah, it definitely looks like, for people listening, it definitely looks like the Shining carpet to me, but maybe a little different, but it's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've been playing this game the whole time. People are probably sick of me explaining it, but if you want to start with some obscure hints about what this Christmas movie may be, and then make it easier as it goes along if I'm not getting it because I'm dumb.
Okay. So like we're going like Christmas because I gotta like
Oh, it doesn't matter. Like if it's tangentially related to Christmas, if it's something you watch every Christmas, you just
I'll just go with the Christmassy, like the most Christmas that we basically watch every year.
Okay.
Gosh, all right. So I had 3 of them. I cannot find them. Oh yeah. So one of the on the parents' guide, one of the violent parts of them is there's an elf in this movie that gets crushed by another elf. Gets crushed.
Okay, I'm just gonna guess elf.
Yeah, I'd say using the word elf like 4 times in that sentence pretty much gave it away. But yes, it was elf. I just thought it was funny that like, hey, this is mild, but an elf is crushed by another elf. I'm like, what?
That's funny.
Because he's spitting on him, I guess. So that's why that's.
Oh yeah, when
mild violence in the beginning.
When Buddy sits on it. Yeah, okay. But when you thought, like, I was thinking like Christmas horror that like an elf gets like crushed or something. I'm like, geez.
So I was trying to throw you down. I was Silent Night, Deadly Night, one of those. I don't.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. So every year you guys watch Elf. I mean, I know.
Yeah, I get it's. So it's. I'm not. I don't rewatch like a ton of movies.
Me neither. sometimes I feel like it's a waste of time because I could be watching something new or something old that I need to catch up on, right? But
And I don't have like a lot of Christmas classics to like rewatch. Like I will say the holdovers. I'm like I will absolutely watch that next year.
yeah, me
It's
too.
delightful. It's so
Yeah.
good. I've seen it twice.
Yeah.
Like that could be one. Like that is one
Yeah.
brewing potentially. But I don't. What do we watch? Like we watched Elf in the Drive-In last year, and that was great.
Oh, that's cool.
That was a ton of
That's
fun. We
cool.
got pizza. Got popcorn from there. It was a great time.
That's awesome.
We haven't watched it yet this year. We haven't watched a ton of Christmas movies this year.
Yeah.
We watched The Holiday. It was a fun time for half of it, and
Yeah.
it's all right. You know, I like Mr. Napkinhead. He's great.
Who's Mr. Napkinhead? Is that in The Holiday?
Yeah.
I
Jude
haven't
Law, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen. No, I have, but it's been a while, so I kind of I
Oh my!
forgot that part.
I put the napkin on his face. It's great.
So I'm gonna give you one of my favorite Christmas movies, and then you gotta guess it. Okay?
All right. Can
All right.
I do I have the power of Google in my hand?
No.
Okay. Fine. Hands up.
So this isn't really going the way I thought it was. Okay. So it's a TV movie. It was on TV, rated G. Came out in 1964.
Oh gosh.
I can give you another hint.
So like, oh, It's a Wonderful Life, one of those. I don't know.
No. It's only 47 minutes.
Okay, it's one of the Rankin and Bass ones.
Yes.
Okay, is it
I'll give you the last hint, and then you might know.
Rudolph?
Burl Ives voices Sam the Snowman.
Oh, Frosty.
No.
No, I have no idea. Wait, no, is it the other guy? No, it's the Misfit Toys one.
Yes, Rudolph.
What's that called? Is it Rudolph? No.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's Rudolph. Yeah, I think the Misfit Toys make another appearance in another movie as well. But yeah, no, this is one of my favorites. I gotta watch this every Christmas. It's just I love it.
Yeah, I should probably do that. Like I haven't seen those in like I have a little brother, he's 15. So we probably
Okay.
watched that when he was 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere around
Yeah.
there. So it's been 10 plus years since I've seen those. But
Yeah, it's been
you
one
just
of
have,
it's.
and I don't know like where to find them, and
I know they're not streaming like anywhere. Sometimes you're lucky you can get like a Christmas one. I bought like the DVD set a while ago. But yeah, I don't know. I just love that one, the Misfit Toys and Yukon Cornelius.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't recall it, so I'm like, yeah, I definitely need to rewatch it. And plus, like you said, it's 47 minutes. It's great.
Yeah. You're in and out.
Yeah, I watched and I don't even love Elf that much, but that's the one that, like, I think it's 2004. I was 9 when they came out. So it was like, we went and saw that, and I was like, oh, cool, this is a great movie. This is like the best holiday movie of all time.
Exactly.
And then it was because it was the first movie that I was like also like in on the. I was like, oh, cool. I know what's going on now.
Oh man, and as you get older, you get more of the jokes. But when you were young, it was still funny as hell. So no, that would hit at the right time for me too. It's just, oh my god, it's everyone's favorite, and I see it too much. But it's undeniably a great classic. So what can you say about it, right? That's bad, but anyways, buddy, thank you for joining me quickly. For giving me a little bit of your time. Merry Christmas to you and your wife and everyone else. I hope you have a great time. And we'll talk soon.
You as well. Thanks, buddy. Merry Christmas.
All right. Talk soon. Bye, bud.
Take care.
You too.
Hey, buddy.
Hi. How are
How are
you?
my mic levels? How's the mic?
That's good. Sounds maybe a little hot.
It's too high? Okay.
Maybe, yeah. I can always adjust it later, but
How are we now?
That's good.
Okay, cool.
That's good. How are you?
I'm awesome. I love your sweater.
Thank you. I've worn it through every interview, so I've had it just sitting here. Then whenever I'm about to start an interview, I put it on quick, turn my background all snowy, and then sit down to chat.
Fantastic.
So
I'm just in my cozies tonight. So sorry, I'm not themey at all.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. So it's 6:34 there?
Tis. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
What's your time?
It's 1:34 here. So yeah. So it's dark there. Is it dark there earlier now because of Christmas, or is it always dark? Like not Christmas, but winter?
It gets dark like around 5 o'clock.
Like always, or like during this time of year?
Just this time of year. Yeah.
Okay,
And then in
yeah.
the summertime, it's bananas. It doesn't get like dark until I don't know, like 11.
Oh
11:30.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's weird.
Well, luckily we don't, like in Canada, like it's dark during the winter. It's dark by like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then in the summer it's dark by like 8:30, 9 o'clock, even later sometimes. But 11 o'clock, that'd be that must be nice some nights.
Some nights, and then some nights it's super weird.
Yeah.
But I find I go to bed super early, like this time of year, and then summer stay out rather late.
Yeah, exactly. It definitely affects our moods and stuff. But yeah. How was your trip to LA and seeing your family and the Film Vault guys?
Oh, it was just spectacular. I think it was like one of the best trips back to California I think I've ever had.
Yeah.
It was so great to see everyone. Like, I missed the Film Vault family so much, and to just
Yeah.
get to hang out with everybody, even just for a little bit, was really special. And
Mhm.
I love them all.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, I just listened to the episode yesterday while I was at work, and it just seemed like Anderson sounded tired, but
He was so tired.
what was he doing that day? Just you must have been working and
I think he's just got so many irons in the fire right now that I think he's got too many things going on at once. I could tell he was just like, he was having like a hard time trying to focus, because I think he just has like so many things going on
yeah,
with Loaded for Bear, with
realty and
reality,
yeah.
raising a child.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, that too.
Apparently I've heard it's rather time consuming.
A little bit, but I mean, come on, Anderson, get with it. The one thing I was gonna say is we have Maltesers in Canada.
Shut up.
Yeah, so as soon as you said that, I was like, wait, they don't have Maltesers in the States? I was like, we have them.
Oh my God. Well, again, I'm not as worldly as I should be, but yeah, I thought they were just an Irish thing, but apparently not.
Yeah, and then, but do you know what Whoppers are?
Lucy behaviors. Sorry, what was that?
Do you know what Whoppers are?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. Are they in the States as well?
Yeah.
Because they're so similar, I find. But anyways.
Sorry, we've got a puppy in the house, and she's being a puppy.
Oh, is it a new puppy?
No, she's just an ill-behaved 3-year-old puppy, but my husband just took her in the bedroom, so hopefully she'll chillax a little bit.
Oh. Well, thank you, husband.
She's the cutest thing ever. Thanks, babe.
And then I was just gonna give you shit because The Family Stone is a great movie. So how I don't know, maybe I just saw it at the right time in my life, whatever, but it's great.
I wanted to love it because there's so many people in it I love. Like, I love Diane Keaton. I love her.
Yeah.
And it didn't quite land for me. But also I was emotionally compromised because I was on a plane.
Yeah.
So things can kind of go either way for me. Like on planes, sometimes I've noticed that I'll like a terrible movie and then watch it later, on land and be like,
Yeah,
what
on
in the
land.
world? And then totally vice versa.
Yeah. No, that's about right. I've shown it to people and then I hype it up, and people are like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that was okay," and I'm like, "What?" It always makes me cry. But everyone has those kind of movies, right? Where
Like, it should have made me cry. Like,
Yeah.
I was expecting that. And I was kind of like, thank God nobody was sitting next to me on that particular flight, because that would have been like really embarrassing. But yeah, no, it just didn't quite.
that's
But I'll
okay.
watch it again on land and I'll see how we go. I'll give her a second chance.
Maybe next Christmas, sit down and on land and give it a shot. But
Okay. So I got
So-
no notes or anything. I'm just going from my noodle today. Is that cool?
that's great. Yeah. The one thing I'm going to ask is, I guess the questions I'm going to ask you, I'm
Mhm.
going to kind of get you to kind of ask me as well.
Totes.
Because you're my last interviewee, and I had someone say, "Okay, but I want to hear all your answers to these questions you're asking everyone." And I was like,
Most deaf. Yeah.
"Yeah." So I don't like to be that kind of person that talks about myself, but I mean, I might as well answer these questions if I'm asking them to everyone else.
Yeah.
So
You're gonna have to suck it up this time, buddy.
exactly. So if you don't mind, we're gonna kind of do a question for question, quid pro quo. I don't know if that even mattered, but
Absolutely.
yeah. So your favorite Christmas movie? I think you already answered this on the Film Vault Family Christmas, but I'd love to get it here on the record.
Okay. Absolutely. I mean, Die Hard all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. And for all the naysayers who say Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, like, come on. You couldn't have that film without Christmas.
I
He was
agree.
coming back to like make up with Holly,
Yep.
because it was Christmas. He was coming back to
Yep.
be with his family for Christmas.
Yeah. He even says ho 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 and Merry Christmas, and it's an office Christmas party, and like all the cops are off duty because it's Christmas time. A lot of them are, and blah blah blah. I don't know. I think it's fairly obvious. But I think at this point, a lot of people are just annoyed with having the conversation now. So
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fine. It's like, let people believe what they want, and you believe what you want.
But I also do watch it on Valentine's Day because I think it's a romantic film.
See,
as well.
I don't like Valentine's Day, so when I heard you say that, I was like, I would never watch a movie for that holiday. I would just be like,
Oh.
I'm good.
See, for me, it's almost most women would maybe go for a rom-com or something like that. I'm
Right,
sorry to
right.
like stereotype most women or, all women. So
Yeah.
I'm not speaking for all of them. But yeah, I definitely would prefer like a great horror movie or a great action
Yeah.
movie or whatnot.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Game of Thrones?
Until it got dumb. Yes.
Okay. Very wise choice. But I'm watching with my fiance, and we just watched like one of the best battle sequences on the show.
Okay, which one is that?
So the episode's called The Long Night, but it's in
Oh,
the
is that
final
the dark one where you couldn't see a darn thing?
Basically,
Ugh.
but it's still a decent episode. It's still like the fight scenes are well done, but it's like
Okay.
over an hour, and he was so bored, and I learned something about him that day that he looked at me. He's like, I don't like action. He's like,
Oh.
I do not like action movies, and I'm like, how could you not like this?
Yeah.
What? So, anyways, and even the Battle of Bastards, he was bored. I was like,
Oh. Can you guys
Yeah.
work? Can you guys
I don't-
work that
I
out?
don't know. Like, I love the John Wick movies and Die
too.
Hard, and I'm like, does he not like these movies? I'm worried now.
I don't love every action movie, mind you.
No,
but
no.
but I definitely enjoy the genre.
I agree. So my favorite Christmas movie would be
Sorry, I was just about to ask, I swear.
No, that's okay. It's a weird concept, but to just throw at you, I should have messaged you before. But my favorite Christmas movie is A Muppets Family Christmas.
Precious.
Not a lot of people watch it. It's like 47 minutes. You can get it on YouTube, and it's like the first time all the Muppets, all Sesame Street characters, the Fraggles, everybody's in it, and I'm a big Jim Henson nerd, and so
He's
I
the
I love
best.
it. He is the best. So
Also,
uh,
Bri would 150% agree with you. I think that's his as well.
maybe I want to know now. um, and then Muppets Christmas Carol, and then It's a Wonderful Life. I love both of those as well. So
That one
Yeah.
gets dusty. The Zuzu pedals bit gets me dusty every time.
the Zuzu pedals.
You'll get it when you give it a rewatch.
Yeah, I think I've seen it like 4 times, and I don't know why that's. I'll later on I'll be thinking about it. I'll probably be like, oh
Okay.
yeah, sorry. So like, what could probably be the top of your list by the end of the year? Do you think, out of what you've seen in 2023?
Oh golly. You know, I've been a little light on the movies this year, I'm embarrassed to say.
That's okay.
I did enjoy Barbie. That
Me
was
too.
it was fun. I literally just saw it on the plane coming back, which I'm late to the game, but I'm just late to the game this year, and I've got
Yeah.
to be okay with that. Yeah, it was just a better movie than it needed to be, you know?
Yeah, totally,
And I
totally.
really enjoyed that. It's not my favorite of the year. Golly, I should have done more homework on this one.
Okay.
Hmm.
Has there
Here,
been
give me
something?
one of yours and I'll think about it for a sec.
Okay, so Barbie would be up there for me for sure, and I'm really in love with The Holdovers. I don't know if you've gotten to see that one
I
yet.
haven't seen it yet. that's on the list
Mhm.
though.
It's
sure.
It's beautiful. Really lovely film. I think you can rent it at home now, and it would be a really good. It's a Christmas one, so it'd be a really good one to throw on.
Okay.
But a recent one I did really like, Leave the World Behind, although it kind of wasn't. Not a lot of people loved it.
I've only seen half so far. So far I don't hate it.
Yeah.
And normally I'm not a big fan of that toothy gal.
Well, at the beginning, it's like they're all so unlikable characters, and then the
Mhm.
ending kind of leaves you on a frustrating-er note. So
Okay.
I don't think that's a word, frustrating-er. And
You
I
can
mean,
make up words here. This is a
yeah,
safe place.
this is a safe place. And the Kane Mutiny Court Martial. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to see it yet. From Mr.
I
William
don't know if I'm
Friedkin.
ready.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Is it?
Eric,
Oh, thank God. I've heard some ungood things and that made me so sad.
really. So
Yeah.
Eric Holmes, I don't know if you know Eric Holmes. He is one of the co-hosts over at Cinemmadicts,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
Brian used to be on. Anderson used to be on. He watched it and he loves courtroom dramas, and he gave it 5 stars. It's going to be on the top of his list at the end of the year for sure. So
Okay.
I went and watched it, and I was like, well, he loves courtroom dramas, whatever. I'm at 4.5 stars on it. I really loved it. I loved what Kiefer Sutherland was doing. What happens at the end is really, like, just really made my heart do crazy things, like in my mind. It really kind of blew my mind. So yeah, I'm really happy. I know Anderson was a little maybe let down a bit, but he still really liked it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. So you have to sit down and watch it at some point when you're ready.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Consider it TCO bead. Yeah. Taking care of business.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I had a friend who tattooed that on his knuckles.
I guess if you're going to punch someone, it's like, I'm taking care of business. That's kind of funny.
I don't think that was his intended purpose, but I don't know. I'll have to ask him if he's put that in someone's face yet. Hope not.
Have you thought of any others?
Golly, no. And I know like there's some at the top of my noodle, but geez
And
Louise.
have you seen anything recently that you liked? Like, even if it's older.
Yes. I saw on the plane, I saw Ingrid Goes West.
Oh yeah, with Elizabeth Olsen and
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza.
Oh,
Yeah.
delightful. I mean,
Very interesting.
they were so good. Yeah,
Mhm.
they were just so good. And I thought it really showed some like range for Aubrey Plaza,
Mhm.
who in my mind, she just will always be, you know,
April
like,
Ludgate.
yeah, absolutely. It's really hard for me. Like I loved that show with every fiber in my being. So it's really hard for me to like see those people in other lights. Poor Rashida, like she made this lovely little film. And I just could not stop seeing her, you know, in the Parks and light, you know, or Parks and Rec, you know.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel like a lot of those shows have ruined some of those big names.
Yeah.
es- like especially
Nick
like Amy.
Offerman. Oh, sorry,
Yes,
you go.
Yeah, Nick Offerman and Amy Poehler. Amy Poehler I love, but her movies haven't done so well since the show. And kind of the same with Tina Fey after 30 Rock.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll have to see.
Blessing or curse, not sure. But I've seen Nick and Offerman do a couple of other things, and I've been able to like ride with him. Like, okay. Chris Pratt's turn though, that one I can't quite
not a
get
fan
on
of that
board with
guy.
him, and like the
Yeah.
it's just like the first time I saw the Jurassic, was it Jurassic World, or
Yeah.
his first turn in the Jurassic universe, it was just so like performative. I mean, obviously he's an actor, supposed to be performative, but it was just so like, I'm a movie star.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
I didn't buy it.
Me neither.
Yeah.
It was because you went from Andy on the show to now I'm a big movie star, and it's like, well, it almost feels like Andy from the show is pretending to be a big movie star.
Yes.
Right?
I didn't
don't
mind
know.
him in Guardians. What do you think of him in Guardians?
Right, because he still has that jokey side, and
Yeah.
And Guardians as itself was such a surprise that yeah, I really enjoyed that. So yeah. So what do you want for Christmas? Like what are you thinking?
Well, I want a pony. I've always
want a
wanted a
pony.
pony.
You've always a pony.
Or it's cold here. So remember in The Simpsons once, I think it was Milhouse, he had a jacuzzi suit. I would also like a jacuzzi suit because it's cold here.
That would be. I love your fantastical ideas. You go right to the fantastical.
Thanks. What do you want for Christmas this year?
It's weird when you have kids. Like it's more. You're like, what can I get my kids that will make them excited?
Can you tell me?
Yeah. So they're very into Pokemon. So I got them Pokemon bed sheets and cards and a battle station and all that stuff. I got them the big toy of the year. It's like this car that can apparently drive on the wall now.
What?
Yeah, I saw the ads. It's at like it's like I don't know, it's anti-gravity and it can drive on the walls. So yeah.
Wow.
Eventually,
I need to see a video of that.
Yeah, I will. I'll post it actually at some point, but I think they'll like it. And but eventually, for myself, I need to get a new camera because I hate this thing. I was filming with the boys over at the Middle Class Film Class podcast, and they have like beautiful cameras, and I looked like the graphics from like a PlayStation 1 video game, and they looked like PS5. And it just, the contrast was so bad. So I need a new camera.
I think you look handsome as all get out. So
well, thank you. I literally before we went recording, I had something in my eye. So if you notice, it's all like red, but whatever.
I was trying to but I'm sorry, you had something in your eye.
I'm really making for great pod
aren't we?
conversation. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's great to just do visual stuff.
Well, this will be on YouTube. So if anybody wants to go over there and watch it, we are on YouTube. So
YouTube, I apologize for my messy kitchen and ungood background.
It looks great. And what's the best or worst gift you've ever received?
Oof. Okay. Well, the best gift I ever received was our puppy Lucy, which my husband Owen gave me for our 3rd year anniversary. And I'd wanted a dog so bad for so long. I love dogs. Dogs make the universe better. Yeah.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Yeah. What could be better than that? And then once my dad, he got me when I was a kid, he got me a bike, which a bike to a kid is like it's independence and sort of like a step towards adulthood.
Yeah.
So that was also a really good gift. So the men in my life have done really, really well with gifts.
Oh, that's amazing.
The worst gift. Golly, I didn't think of that one. Here, you tell me your best gift and I'll think of my worst, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna pause really quick because I just need water. My mouth is so dry. I didn't realize. Do you mind?
Sure thing.
I'll be 2 seconds. Okay. So I guess my best gift would be actually it comes with a story. So I was maybe 14 or 15 and computers were kind of just becoming like computer games were the thing, and I really wanted The Sims for PC.
Okay.
I don't know. Did you ever play The Sims?
I'm familiar with it. I have not played.
Okay. So, and I don't know, this Christmas, I got a lot, I'm sure I got a lot of great stuff, but I was definitely bummed, but I didn't let it be known, but apparently I did let it be known, because like later, like I was trying not to like, that was great, blah, blah. I'm the oldest of 3 brothers, I'm the oldest of 4, so it was like, oh, try to be whatever, the kid, yeah. And my mom comes to me later and she's like, after dinner, and she's like, I was just downstairs and I noticed there's another gift from Santa for you that like that you must have missed. And we went down there and there was an envelope in the back of the tree that they had obviously put there, and I opened it up and it had like $60 in it, and it was like, hey Mitch, couldn't get Sims for you this year, but why don't you go and buy it for yourself, Santa? And so they obviously went back down and put it there. So it was really sweet, and I'll never forget that.
Santa's very busy,
Yeah,
so,
it was. Yeah. So it was really nice of him to think of it, even though he couldn't get to the store and get it. So.
All right.
And then worst gift isn't technically my worst gift. Me and my brother, we got Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Red for the Game Boy.
Okay.
And so we had the Game Boys, and I think they were like the first Pokemon games in color on the Game Boy. And, they were like this big, which is big compared to how big they are now. But, so we were so excited. Somewhere in the cleaning up process on Christmas Day, they got thrown out. Both of them.
No.
And they were from my aunt, and she was upset with us, and we were upset, and like, yeah, it was a horrible day, because like we were all around upset, because these games were like $70 at the time, or $60, and it was like, yeah, so that sucked. But yeah. So did you think of one?
I did. Okay.
First
of all, sorry mom, because this came from my mother, and it was like, it was last year. I don't know if you've ever seen them. They're they're these very old-timey pajamas that
Mhm.
sometimes moms like to wear. There was a company called Lanz back in the day, Lanz, and they
Oh,
made
yeah.
these sort of yeah, are you familiar? Okay.
Yep.
So they make these like really almost house on the prairie like pajamas, and she got me a she got me one thinking that would be great for Ireland because it is warm. And it
Yeah,
was like it
yeah.
was flannel, so I didn't mind the print at all, but like it was, I mean, almost like roughly at the collar and just I did try to put it on one night and I think I sweated my own body weight and it was just not comfortable, not cute. And I wore it and then my mom
Yeah.
saw me the next day and I mean I looked disheveled. I looked like I had been partying like a rock star the night before and truly I had not. Um a- anyway, I had to pretend to love it, but I don't love it.
That's when Charlie, I think his name is, the kid from A Christmas Story, gets the
Mhm.
pink bunny outfit and then he has to wear it because
Yes.
grandma, for a picture for grandma.
Perfect reference.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's I mean, we've all gotten clothes like that. And I mean, I love my grandma to bits, but she's very religious. I think every gift she ever got me could be on the worst of gifts because it was always a rosary or a Bible or a book about St. Peter. One year I got a book about not having sex before marriage and not masturbating before at all or ever. Contraception's the devil, so
Oh my God. Burn
yeah,
that book, buddy.
I had a whole list of gifts from her, but I love you, Grandma. I doubt you'll ever listen to this.
Sorry, Grandma.
Yeah, sorry,
Sorry,
Grandma.
Mom.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So, but you gotta love Christmas. Do you have any traditions? You already went home, so
I mean, decorating the tree for sure, but a tradition I used to have in the States, but we've carried it over here to Ireland and I do
mhm.
it here with my Irish family is the girls go out and we do a Christmas tea, like a high
Oh,
tea, and it's
that's
really, really
awesome.
fun. And
Yeah.
my nieces come and my mother-in-law and my sisters-in-law, and we do it at this lovely hotel down the road called Glenlow Abbey, which is fabulous. If you ever come to Ireland, you must go there. I will take you myself. And that's where my husband and I had our Irish wedding. And
Oh,
it's just silly good fun. And you eat too much delicious food and you take this like epic nap after it. It's the
that's
best.
nice. That's
And I
really
love
good.
tea. Yeah.
And it's just tea. There's no alcohol involved.
Well, I mean, I might have a glass of bubbly.
Okay, because like
Yeah,
the
I don't know
nap.
if you know this, but calories over the holidays, they don't count.
Yeah, actually, I
Yeah.
did hear that. So
Okay.
in
It's science.
Canada and Ireland, it must be the same thing then. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I think it's worldwide, but I
Must
haven't
be.
been
Yeah.
all over the world yet.
Well, I'll ask some of my Australian friends and stuff and make sure
Yeah.
we'll figure this
Please,
out. We'll figure this out.
post in the
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah. Well, the one other thing I have to say is it was so interesting listening to the Christmas episode. You guys sound cute and all cuddling up in there, and
We really were. It was quite snuggly in the most lovely way.
Carano and Anderson, in comparison to you and Florence, and I don't think you and Florence are by any chance, by any way, in any way. Oh, I'm trying not to be insensitive, but like the girl that gets offended easily. And so, I don't
No.
think you guys are those kind of girls, but I think at times where Carano and Anderson were maybe pushing, right?
Mhm.
And I think they've had people on the program in the past that would have reacted the way some people have, but it was just so funny to hear you guys just be like, yep, that's Carano and Anderson. It just felt like a family, right? Like, oh, this is our family. Like, we love them. They're a little fucking weird, but
Yeah. If I didn't know Mike Carano and I heard some of the things that came out of his face,
yeah.
I think I would be probably a little horrified and offended,
Mhm.
but he's just the man is truly all love. So it's,
Mhm.
like even when he says some, possibly controversial or maybe, not PC things, it's really you kind of have to think of the intention.
Yes.
And yeah, the intention is just love and the man has no filter.
Yeah, because
Which
there is one thing he said in that episode, and I don't know if you remember about the little tiki guys he got.
oh,
Um,
yeah. Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
that took me aback, but it did make me laugh, but because it's so shocking. And I think his brain is, I think he's a really smart guy. And
Yep.
I think really smart guys just think of everything. And anyway, so it was really sweet. But you come across as this just very sweet woman, and you're so lovely, and I love you. But to just hear you dive into how much you know about the Manson family and
Oh God.
how much and the true crime and everything, and I was like, whoa, this girl, I didn't know this side to her.
Oh yeah,
I'm
it's pretty dark. I was just having dinner with Ira Reiner, who is the DA after my father. I think that's the lineage of it. And
okay.
he I think at one point represented one of the Manson girls. Can't remember if it was Patricia or Leslie. Anyway, he was like
Yeah.
recalling some of the stories and he kept forgetting people's names. I was like, "Oh, that's Squeaky Fromm. Oh, that's, like and
Oh
he
my
was just
gosh.
horrified, and, like, I knew almost more about the case at this point than he did, and he
Yeah.
was a little bit, like, shocked and horrified and also kind of, like, respect. Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
real true crime nerd.
That's awesome.
It's I don't know why I'm so fascinated because I'd say I'm hopefully a pretty, like, positive person, but true crime stuff really fascinates me. I always am very interested in the psychology of it all, but I'm super appreciative that there has been a switch to like less glorifying of the
Yes.
um yeah.
Yes.
It should be victim focused, like
Yes.
that. I always want it like it should be done respectfully or
Yeah.
it's very frustrating to watch or I can't watch it.
Yeah, it's nice now where it's we know less about the killer and we know more about the victims.
Yeah.
The killers don't get these nicknames per se anymore. It's
Yeah.
this is his name, he's going to jail, and these were the victims, like
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I'm
But
always a little curious about like, the psychology of it and like
mm-hmm.
how this person got that way and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But it really makes me angry when people glorify the killers or golly Moses, when people say like Ted Bundy and they're like, oh, he was handsome or he was so hot. I'm like, ew.
Mm.
Like go to therapy immediately.
Yeah. Well, when Zac Efron plays him, I guess that's a little awkward, but I get it. I
Yeah.
am
Mixed feelings on that one
yeah.
altogether.
The one thing I wanted to ask, and I responded to Avery to see about that book he was mentioning, but if I know very little about the whole Manson thing, do you have a book or a recommendation of where I should start or where I could like
Helter
learn
Skelter.
more? Is
Helter
that
Skelter.
is that the book he wrote?
It's Vincent Bugliosi. He
Right.
wrote
Okay.
that. He ran against my father as well.
Right.
And my dad beat him.
Yeah.
Sorry, Vincent.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he
but
did.
anyway, it's a good
Okay.
place to start, but like there's still like that it's not 100% accurate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not, maybe it was accurate to him at the time, or maybe
Yeah.
that's what his, research or whatnot had discovered at the time, but it's not completely accurate, but it's a good in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. I just because I like I try to know everything, but it just, it's a little hard. And I know if I go down that true crime road sometimes, I have to get to the end of it, right? I want to know everything.
Yeah.
I'm very much a completionist, so
I hear you. It's such a
yeah.
rabbit hole.
Yeah. So anyways, I don't want to keep you any longer. It's already been about half an hour, and
Keep me as long as you like. I'm here for you.
I love chatting with you, and
Samesies 100.
I was like, you didn't respond to my email, and I'm like, you know what? She's busy. She's in LA. I'm like, that's fine. I don't want to bother her. But then I was like, I'm just gonna reach out because maybe she doesn't know we can do this over the phone or whatever. Just to
Oh.
say hi.
I feel so bad about that. I would
Oh,
never not
don't.
respond to you. I just got busy with LA stuff. You would have thought I was running for office with the way my mom had me scheduled. It was insane.
I bet.
That woman.
I loved all your pictures. She looks like such a sweet woman.
Oh, she's the
you
best,
guys
but she
look
has cocaine blood.
like. I was-
She doesn't
I
stop.
thought you were just about to say, but she has a cocaine addiction.
Oh, no.
And I was like, I don't think we should get into that. I can cut this out. No,
she just like has
mhm.
all the energy in the world.
Mhm.
And it was like tough to keep up with her schedule. And she's 80.
Oh my God. Oh, she is? She does not look 80. She does not. But you look
agree.
very young. You look very, like, I would say we're the same age, but I think
I just love you so hard, Mitch Burns.
I love you too. So thank you so much. I thank your husband for me, for setting all that up.
Consider it done.
Okay, and kiss your dog for me, and have a amazing Christmas.
Happy Christmas, happy holidays, happy everything. And I love you
Happy
to the
New
moon,
Year.
buddy.
Yes, I love you to the moon. Thank you so much. You're the sweetest.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye. All right, so I don't know how I'm doing these, but we just had Florence on, and now I've
sweet.
got Mr. Eric Holmes on, who you may know from the Cinemmadicts podcast, which Anderson used to be on, and now it's you, Greg, and what's the other guy's name? Oh, Bruce. Right. No, I'm just kidding.
Mr. Willis, he was in Die Hard.
Mr.
Merry
Willis,
Christmas.
yeah. What top 5 did we do when you were
I think we
on?
did top 5 movies directed by female.
Yeah, you're
directed.
right. Yes.
Or I guess women directed movies would be more
Yeah.
apropos given the dialogue, how the dialogue goes today.
Yeah. It's so weird how podcasting can just go right out of your brain. Like when I'm on somebody else's podcast, I know exactly like what I did, but when it's my own and you're like running the show, it kind of goes in one eye or ear and out the other.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
know.
ask me what movies we covered on Cinematics this week. I couldn't tell you. I have to
Well,
look it up. And
I
that
do
happened like
know.
3 days ago.
I do know because I've watched 2 of them that you guys mentioned already because they were so readily available. I watched Leave the World Behind, and I absolutely loved it. I'm 4.5 stars on that one. I think it's very what's the word I'm trying to say? I don't know. Some people are loving it, some people are hating it. So
Oh, okay. Divisive.
divisive, thank you. And but that ending's a little divisive. You've seen
Yeah.
it?
No.
Right, it was Greg and
yeah,
Bruce.
It was
Okay.
Greg and Bruce.
And then
But they sold it to me because I'm once I'm done with the thing they had to do today. Don't know if we want to mention it or not, but we recorded a
Mhm.
playthrough of the Film Vault game, and so I'm going to cut some of that today. But maybe after that, I'm going to go back and check it out because Bruce and Greg kind of sold it to me as well.
yeah, I don't know if I've had a chance to talk about it on here, so maybe this is a good time. So we've done 2 now playthroughs of the Film Vault board game. Eric made it. I should have had you on. We should have just talked about it, we still could, I guess, but
Yeah.
it's so much fun. I've played it twice now with different people, and it's always a riot. I can't wait for this to be a physical board game. I'm gonna buy one for everybody I know.
And then the same people will be the only ones playing it. It's like, what are we going to do with these 10 extra games?
it's a lot of fun. It's like some really you put a lot of thought into it. That's all I can say. So
Yeah.
you head on over to my YouTube channel where maybe you're watching this right now, and watch us play through it and give it some time. Like you think with the rules and stuff, you're like, oh, I don't know if I'd love this, but once you get into it and you see us playing, you're like, oh, I want to play this. So
Yeah, I made a prototype version that we played here at home a bunch of times, and mostly me and my brother, and then like whenever people come over for a barbecue or something, we just start playing it, and it's kind of like the game doesn't play like Trivial Pursuit, but the uh context of playing is kind of the same, where like you start playing Trivial Pursuit as the game,
yeah,
and then eventually you're just like, screw the game, we just want to read the cards.
yeah,
And so like we'll start playing the film vault game, and then like after like a couple of rounds we're like, just go through the cards, let's go through our top fives. It basically just gives people carte blanche to talk about movies.
Yeah, exactly. Talking about movies you love, and yeah, if you're a movie lover, it's perfect. The one thing I was gonna say, last time we played, I realized it reminded me a bit of one of my favorite board games is Categories, and so it reminded me a little bit of that. So I think people who like Categories or the Blockbuster game, or Trivial Pursuit, or if you like movies, you're gonna like it. So go over and watch us play. Give it even 20 minutes or whatever. The first playthrough we did was like 2
Chaos.
hours. Yeah, because we tried to do it with like 7 of us, I think.
Yeah.
So that was a little insane, but it was still fun. But anyways, I have questions for you, Eric.
Okay.
So we're gonna play the make me guess the Christmas movie in a little bit, but I
Okay.
need to know, and you're the perfect person to answer, because if you guys don't know, over on Cinemmadicts, you guys cover some movies that not everyone gets to see, or smaller movies, and you interviewed the directors. I mean, you just had an interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson like a month ago. You
Yeah,
crazy bastard.
that was nuts.
Did-
I didn't even know I was gonna interview him at first, because the interview was supposed to be with the director, and I knew Neil deGrasse Tyson produced it, but the email just said that I was gonna interview the director. I was like, oh, that's
Wow.
cool, because I like the I like the documentary. And then I opened up the Zoom link, and Neil deGrasse Tyson sitting there. I'm like, oh, damn it.
And
So
did-
nervous.
oh my gosh, I would have felt butterflies. Like I don't know how I would have handled that. I stumble over my words even talking to you, and
Oh, so do I.
yeah, so yeah, what movie was he were they on there for?
It was a documentary. Crap, I can't remember the name of it now.
I know he does so many interviews, people, and they review so many movies on Cinematics, like 5 a week, like new movies. It's crazy, and they're usually from this year, varying, but um, yeah,
Yeah, I'll
and
look that up real quick, because it is a good documentary. But I gotta, geez, yeah, the goldfish brains, they don't like me so much.
oh, I thought that was the name of the movie, The Goldfish Brain.
Oh no, that's what I have. In fact, so like I run karaoke, throughout
Yep.
the week.
Yep.
Shot in the arm. So it's about like the COVID
Right.
vaccines, but
Right.
it's not so much about the COVID and the vaccines. Like that's what it is on the surface. But what it's really about is how misinformation and the news media and our government like to obfuscate information, and it
Oh.
just turns everything to crap.
Oh, I'd like to watch that. That sounds interesting. So since you watch so many movies, I'd love to just hear like one or two that you think could make it on your end of the year list. When you guys, you don't have to give me your number one, because I know, you guys are going to do the end of the year list episode. I can't wait for that. But I'd love to hear one that people don't know they should keep their eye out for, that could be on your top 10.
Well,
Or
one
something.
that's probably going to be at the top is K Mutiny Court Martial. I
Yeah.
love William Friedkin, and I love courtroom dramas, and that movie's just pure courtroom drama.
Mhm.
And so, one of my favorite things about courtroom dramas is the arguments people have back and forth,
Mhm.
because
Good dialogue.
yeah, if I'm a lawyer and you're a lawyer and we're going back and forth, we have to make an argument, and my argument needs to be better than yours, and yours has to combat mine, so on and so forth. Florence is a lawyer, so she could probably explain this a lot better than I could. But I love that when characters, or when a writer gives characters really good arguments to combat with.
Yeah.
I think that's a sign of strong writing, and
Yeah.
that's also why I love Aaron Sorkin so much. He didn't write K Mutiny Court Martial, Willem Friedkin did, but the K Mutiny Court Martial is like the purest form of that. And then that last scene is
Oh my God.
is just so good.
That last scene is it'll make or break you. It kind of broke me. I was anyways. It was a lot.
And another one, another courtroom drama adjacent anyway, is Anatomy of a Fall.
Oh,
I mean, these are both movies I think people have heard of. I'm trying to think of like a more lesser seen one, but again, Goldfish Brains. I can't.
No.
I'll bring up the thing and see what movies we cover. But yeah, Divinity. There you go. There's a movie called Divinity. It's got Scott Bakula and Steven Dorff, and it's all black and white and kind of dirty looking. Like it looks really cool. I don't know if you ever seen a movie called Tin Can, but it's got that kind, like Tin Can's not black and white, but Tin Can's got the same kind of dirty look to it. But so Steven Dorff, his dad Scott Bakula, developed this serum that makes you young, like forever. And they sell it as like a cosmetic product. And these two guys just kind of appear out of the ground. Like I don't know if they're demons or aliens or what, but they track down Steven Dorff, they tie him up to a chair, and they hook him up to a needle with like just a bunch of this serum. And he's like, don't do that. You'll kill me. And like, I thought you said it was safe. And it's like, well, yeah, but if you're going to pump 3 gallons of it in, water's safe, but you don't want to drink like a pool full of it. That'll kill you.
I gotta watch this.
But, so they hook him up to that. And then he turns into this giant monster thing. And it's just like a really, it feels like the Wachowskis doing a David Lynch movie, or David Lynch doing a Wachowskis movie. That's how you would sell it, I guess. And then there's a fight at the end. I don't know if I should. Yeah, I'll say it. The final fight between Steven Dorff is a giant thing and the 2 alien things. It's all done in claymation.
I think
out of nowhere, it's like, well, I don't know what this is, but this is freaking awesome.
That's cool. So definitely something off the map, like something different. That's good.
Oh,
I wrote it down. Divinity with Steven Dorff and Scott Bakula. While you were talking, I had to look up if Scott Bakula has ever played Dracula, and he hasn't.
Bakula is Dracula.
Actually, I was just, while you were talking, I was just thinking, I this weekend I watched, oh my God, the Stranger Guest, the one you guys just talked about in the sorority house, and they leave for Christmas, and the Sacrifice Game. I just watched that. Yeah, I didn't love it as much as you guys, but I did like where it went, and it does a complete 180, right? 180 about the halfway point, and because you think it's just a typical home invasion thriller. It was right up my alley, and I love to watch whatever Shudder puts out, because I think that's a service that Bruce loves it. I think it's a great service, and one out of every 3 is good.
A lot of the stuff that I love about the Sacrifice Game was stuff we couldn't talk about because it's spoiler stuff. Like I don't even want to do it here because I don't think a lot of people, I don't think hardly anyone's seen it yet, but yeah, the stuff in it that I responded most to is stuff that I can't talk about, which is what sucks about reviewing movies sometimes.
I know.
It's like, oh, this movie's real good. Why? Can't tell you, but just trust me. But you might not like it, and crap, this review sucks.
Yeah, some people don't care about spoilers, but I don't know.
Yeah, but
I do. This is such a great surprise that I wouldn't want to give it away.
I think my metric on that is because a lot of the movies I watch, like I won't I didn't even hear of them before we get the links for them.
Yeah.
So when I'm watching a movie and something happens where I'm like, whoa, didn't see that coming, I'm not going to give that away because like it, I'm not saying like I'm smart, I should have figured it out, but
Right.
I figure if I was surprised by it, then you should probably leave that for someone else to be surprised by it as well.
Like even with Leave the World Behind, I heard your review. That's like the first I'd heard about it, and then I didn't read anything else. So like I'm really trying to go into movies cold now, and if I want, then I can look at the log line halfway through and get an idea.
Yeah,
But
but then like with like King Mutiny Court Martial, like you can say I think we effectively spoiled that, but that's not like a movie you can spoil.
no,
It's it's just like you
it's
can talk
the
about
ride.
the end without saying exactly what happens, but it's not like you get to the end and it's like a huge reveal. It's just a really cool moment. And I
Mhm.
can tell you everything that happens,
Mhm.
but the joy doesn't come from any sort of reveal. The joy comes from, wow, that's a really well done scene. And I
Yeah.
love where that character kind of took that scene and so on and so forth. Like
Yeah.
whereas like something like Fight Club was like, holy crap, they were the same person the whole time. Or Sixth Sense, like,
Wait,
holy
what?
crap, Bruce Willis was in the movie. That's not that's something you can spoil because that's that inherently changes the entire movie by the time you get to the end of it.
Next, you're gonna tell me Santa isn't real.
No, he's real.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm not
Eric,
about spoilers. I'm not
no,
going to
exactly.
spoil Santa for you.
Did you? I know we'll move on to this game, but did you see The Passenger with Kyle Gallner?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
You know
probably that
what?
could make it in my top 10.
There it is. That's definitely one.
Yeah.
Passenger, that's kind of like Anderson talks about Dinner in America, and for good reason, because that movie's great. But The Passenger kind of feels like it. I mean, Kyle Gallner's in both of them, but they're kind of similar and completely different from each other at the same time. I think those two would make like really great double feature.
I agree. I mean, Passenger's a little darker, especially with that opening, scene. But I loved it. I really responded to it, and a lot of like where it goes and the messages and stuff in that movie. It's almost a 5-star movie for me. I really loved it.
I would say The Passenger is like a sequel to Dinner in America. Like maybe 10 years after Dinner in America, he's kind of grown up. He's working in this convenience store, and then all this stuff happens that happens in Passenger.
Yeah. So anyone who's listening to this episode, you already know I've played the game twice now with Jason Kleeburg and Florence Bruemmer. So Eric is gonna give me a few movies. I told him the ones that have already been guessed. You got that message?
I did not.
Oh, I just said it on Facebook because I don't want.
Do I look at it then?
Yeah, because I don't want you to do those ones again. I can tell you.
All right. No, I see him.
Okay. So you probably had a couple of those up, or one of them, or.
So what am I doing now?
So you're gonna make me guess Christmas movies from the IMDb page, giving me.
Okay. Yeah, I got 10. So you just want 2 of them then?
No. I know you do as many as you want. I'm just letting you know
I don't have any of these on there, so we're good.
Oh, awesome. Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, I just I did just a few with the others because Florence was charging me by the minute, right? Because she's a lawyer, so I didn't have a ton of time, and Kleeburg's got to probably interview some big director on Force 5 over there. But
yeah, well, let's start with a layup.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I will give you the year this came out.
Okay.
And this one is 1977.
Okay. All right.
And I'm going to read some of the trivia off of IMDb.
Okay.
And then you see if you can guess what the movie is.
Okay.
All right. And I'll kind of roll over some obvious context clues, like like for instance, like John McClane steps on glass and it's Die Hard. Like
Right,
why even
right.
bother?
Got you. Got you.
Instead of saying that, I'll say a character steps on glass. You
Got
still
you.
get the context of the glass, but it won't completely give it away.
That's good. Buddy the elf hops over the no.
Let's see, Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. The scene where the drum rolls past two characters took over 200 takes to get right. In 2020, Frank Oz wrote in the
Hammond Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
Well, I broke my rule and made it super easy.
No, I knew it right from the drum because A,
Oh, okay.
I love anything Jim Henson does, and B, I've seen the bloopers of that scene. Have you?
No, I haven't seen the bloopers. I've seen the movie like
You got to look up the bloopers of that scene because the people doing the Muppets are doing like the mom and baby. Oh, it's so funny, so fucking funny.
All right. Well, we'll go on to the next one. This one is why isn't the 1988. There we go.
Okay.
This one's from 1988. Filming began in December 1987. With Christmas approaching, the director asked if the production could have Christmas Day off, but Paramount Pictures executives refused, insisting the filming should continue on Christmas Day. However, director outwitted them. At the end of the day, on December 24th, he fired the entire cast and crew. 2 days later, on December 26th, he rehired everyone.
Wow.
That has nothing to do with the movie. That's just a behind the scenes thing. But
no, that's interesting. So I'm gonna say, because I know this is your favorite movie of all time, I'm gonna say Gremlins.
No.
Okay.
Gremlins was, when was that? That came out in like July, I think. So
did it?
Yeah.
I thought it was 88 or 87.
Oh, Gremlins came out in 84.
84. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will tell you that neither Gremlins nor Die Hard are in any of these.
Damn it. Okay. Give me another one. I think I might know it, but give me another one.
All right. Well, when the ghost of Christmas Present grabbed actor's lips, she tore it so badly that filming was halted for several days.
Okay. So it's some form of the Christmas Carol, obviously.
You're definitely on the right track.
But which one? Christmas Present. It's a female. Well, I guess I'll say Muppets Christmas Carol.
It is not.
Okay. All right. Give me another one then.
All right. Well, we'll go just so we can move on. I'll give you full context of everything.
Okay.
The leader of the Street Musicians, insulted by Bill Murray and Paul Schaefer. The others are Miles Davis, David Sanborn, and Larry Carlton.
Scrooged.
It is. It is Scrooged.
I did think about that. That probably would have been my next guess, but that's like saying like, "Oh, I knew it. I knew it." That one. All right.
Let's see. This next one came out in 1994.
Okay.
We'll start off with it's the film debut of J.K. Simmons.
Really? 94. Okay. All right. Is he a bigger character?
Or... I don't remember. It's been a while since I saw this one.
All right, give me another one.
All right. Actor's line, "Lady, your husband ain't dead, he's hiding," is a direct quote of a line from the classic Abbott and Costello routine, Susquehanna Hat Company, that was immortalized in the film In Society from 1944.
Lady, your husband isn't dead, he's hiding. I just picture someone out there and listening, screaming at me.
I think if you can think of like the cadence and how that's said and who would say that would probably give away exactly what this movie is.
Lady, your husband isn't dead, he's hiding. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
No.
Okay.
Next one, when released in the United Kingdom, this movie was retitled Hostile Hostages. Hostile Hostages.
And it's not Die Hard.
No.
Hostile Hostages. Is
Maybe
it the
your husband
Ref?
ain't dead. It is. It is the
Okay.
Ref.
Okay.
Nailed that one.
Got it.
All right. Let's see. This one came out in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
The whistle on Sailor Duck's boat was later used for Smudger's whistle from Thomas and Friends in 1984.
Sorry, what year was it?
This came out in 2000.
On Smudger's boat.
That's actually a really bad trivia thing.
I'm gonna say Polar Express.
No.
Okay.
Oh, shoot! I got the wrong one. That's why these trivia questions don't make sense. Okay. At one time, this actor actually owned the Ferrari used in the film. He sold it about a year before filming began. So disregard the first trivia thing. That was something else.
Okay. Ferrari used in the film 2000. Is it The Grinch Who Stole Christmas?
No.
I know there's cars, but I doubt one was a Ferrari.
According to the DVD commentary, the scene where Jack gets back to his minivan and the minivan won't start was a happy accident that wasn't supposed to happen. The director thought it was a perfect beat and left it in the final cut.
Is it Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
No, I think that's a Thanksgiving movie.
It is, but I didn't know if you were like going quote unquote holiday, and you fucking Americans have your Thanksgiving so close to your Christmas. It's like, why not just bulk them together?
You know, I'm sure there's a Key Grip or a Best Boy whose first name is Noel, so maybe technically Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a Christmas movie.
That's a good one. I used to have a really crappy boss, and her name was Elle. And around Christmas time, whenever she was off, we would always like go around singing Noel, Noel, because we were so happy.
All right, here we go. This might give away some stuff. Director Brett Ratner had to court this actor for months to convince him to be in this film. It wasn't until the actor saw Ratner's newest film, Rush Hour, that he agreed to be in this film, which is very strange because Rush Hour is not that good.
Oh, Rush Hour. I thought you said Rushmore. I'm like, he didn't do Rushmore.
No. In fact, this might be Brett Ratner's only good movie.
I don't know. Give me one more.
All right. Let's see. I'll give Oh, here we go. In the script version, Jack sings Witchcraft by Frank Sinatra to Kate during her birthday party. In the movie, it had been switched to La 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 Means I Love You by the Delphonics.
Jack.
Are you familiar with the song? The Delphonics song?
No.
La 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 love means I love you. And the main character sings that in a
Okay. What is it?
I will say Nick Cage specifically sings that song.
What Christmas movie is Nick Cage in? I don't know.
The Family Man.
Okay.
Have you not seen that?
No, that's different than The Weatherman, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen The Family Man. Is it good?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean it's definitely cheesy, and it's by far Brett Ratner's best movie. Not that that's a high bar to clear, but it's definitely one that we watch.
I hope somebody
we watch quite often.
Okay. Huh. I'll watch it.
All right. So this one is a 2021 film. And I did not know this was a Christmas movie, so I'll give you that clue right off the bat.
All right. Okay.
The voice of the opening narration is actually the voices of director and his wife Augustine Frizzell mixed together. I think the director will absolutely give this one away.
Okay. All right. Well, and obviously he doesn't have the last name Frizzell.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with the next one.
Okay. Okay, the idea of adapting this book of the same name came to director while he was setting up a diorama of action figures from Willow in his backyard.
Oh, is it Pinocchio?
No. Let's see. This might give a little more context. We'll see.
Okay.
And this is what makes it a Christmas movie.
Mm.
In the film, the person arrives on Christmas Day. In the original poem, he arrives on New Year's Eve. So it's based on a poem.
$2021. I hate this because I'm so good with recent movies and I should know
Filmed in Ireland. I'll give you that one for free.
Filmed in Ireland. 2021. Filmed in Ireland. All right, give me one more.
Okay, Joel Edgerton, the Lord, played Sir Gawain and King Arthur. Doncha Crowley, who played Bishop, played a monk in the older movie. And I'll give you this. Ralph Ineson and Kate Ducky previously co-starred in The Witch, another A24 film.
Is it Hamlet? No, not Hamlet.
You're like right there.
I know. What's the other one? Denzel's Washington. What?
No. It's not Shakespeare, but you're like really close.
Oh my god.
Directed by David Lowery.
The Green Knight.
That is it. You are
I
correct.
haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that would make it more difficult, I suppose.
Well, and I just heard Pete talking about it on Cinemmadicts, and I'm like, they're talking about it like everyone's seen it, and I'm in the corner like I need to see this. Ugh. Okay, well that's perfect because if it's a Christmas movie, I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Sweet. Yeah, I think that's like one of those like it's Christmas, I guess technically. Like,
yeah,
but
yeah, no,
I don't recall watching The Green Knight going, oh, this is a Christmas classic. Like I just thought it was a good movie. Like it didn't jump out as a Christmas movie to me.
I have a movie like that where I tell people it's a Christmas movie just so I can watch it around Christmas because it has one Christmas scene.
All right, so this is one of my favorite Christmas movies, and
Okay.
it came out in 2021.
Ooh.
And I've heard people hate this movie, but I don't care. Philemon Chambers, who plays Nick, is the first Black actor to star in a major motion LGBTQ romantic comedy.
Is it Happy Season?
No.
I like that movie.
Filmed in Pointe Claire, Quebec, in the same neighborhood as the Home Alone reboot.
Is it in French?
No.
Okay.
No, it came out on Netflix, I believe.
Okay, give me another one.
Kathy Najimy plays Jennifer Robertson's mother, but in real life, she's only 14 years older than her. So she had her baby very young.
I remember watching this movie and saying Kathy Najimy is not much older than her, and I can't remember the movie.
If you describe the movie, I'll just give it to you. Like,
well, I know Kathy Najimy isn't in it very much. Give me one more clue.
Let's see. Michael Urie, Philemon Chambers, and Luke McFarlane are all openly gay actors. Prior to the shoot, Urie was insistent to the filmmakers that all three lead characters be played by gay actors to make their chemistry more realistic. And also Stifler's mom is in it. I think that was one of the characters I mentioned.
Okay, maybe I haven't seen this movie. It's not Bros. It's not. It's not. Okay, you tell me what it is, or give me another clue.
Yeah. If you haven't got it yet, I don't think you will.
Okay.
But it's Single All the Way. See, it's like Jingle All the Way, but they're single. So it's Single All.
I remember you making that joke on Cinemmadicts, which is so bad that I remember the joke. Did I watch this movie and I just have no memory of it? All right, I'm having fun, so just give me one more, and then I'll say goodbye to you.
Okay. Well, I'll make this extra long because I don't want to say goodbye to you. But this one came out in 2010. This one came out in 2010. And this one, I don't know if you've seen this one or not, but I'm pretty sure you probably heard of this one at least.
Okay. 2010.
So we'll find out. Rauno and Pitari are played by real life father and son, Yorma Tomiya and Oni Tomiya. Or Tomila.
Okay. So
actually I can read all these trivia things because there's only like 5 of them.
Okay, just keep going. It's a Spanish movie.
Finnish, I believe.
Oh, Finnish. Wow,
yeah,
really off the mark there. Okay.
At 5 minutes and 45 seconds.
Rare exports.
Yep, you got it.
That's like my favorite one. That's top 5 horror Christmas movies for me.
Yeah, the last one was going to be one of Cate Blanchett's favorite films. I figured that. I think that's floating around enough that people would have figured that one out.
Yeah. I do actually think I remember her saying that.
I do want to bring up this movie just because.
Give me one more.
Well, I don't think anyone will get. I'll just read it. I don't think anyone's going to get this because I don't think many people have seen it. But it came out in 2022. The film features 487 uses of profanity with an average of 5.6 per minute.
Okay.
The story was initially conceived as a remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night.
It's a Wonderful Knife?
No, but it's...
Oh, so from last year.
Yeah. Part of a series of R-rated Christmas-based movies featuring Santa-like figures who kills people, released in 2022, including Violent Night and The Mean One.
Violent Night and The Mean One.
This the like Violent Night, The Mean One, and this one all kind of have Santa Claus killing people.
Is it Fat Man? The Fat Man?
No, I think that came out the year before, or 2 years before.
Okay. One more.
Geez. The exterior of Tori's house is the interior of her neighbor's, and vice versa. The two houses are almost identical in layout. When Tori is looking out the kitchen window, she is actually looking at empty forest. That probably didn't help. There we go. The Toy Story TW Bonkers Toy and Candy Emporium is the actual name of the shop that is featured prominently in the film.
Is it Chucky, like the Child's Play remake?
No, but you're really close. I will say it's got a robot Santa in this.
I know I've seen this, but I can't remember the title.
Killer Robot Santa Claus. It's Christmas Bloody Christmas.
Christmas Bloody Christmas. Yes. Yeah. Okay, I did see this. Okay.
And I should have read those much slower. In 2022.
I gotta leave you. Gio's bugging me to get on now.
All right. Well, Mitch, Merry Christmas. Good
Merry
seeing
Christmas,
you as always.
buddy. Yeah, I will keep listening to you on Cinematic. Yeah. And yeah, I'm sure I'll talk to you soon.
Cool.
Merry Christmas.
Yep. Merry Christmas.
All right, buddy.
And tell everyone hi for me.
I will. All right, buddy. Merry Christmas. That is the end of my interviews. Well, it's not the end. Because now I have Mr. Giovanni. You know him as Gio Johnny. I left him for the end. I love Gio. I love him very, very much. We all do. Gio is a staple. He is more of a staple than me or Avery. You know, it could be argued that the Film Vault would not be there without him. He would definitely argue that. He would say that's true. So I just wanted to leave it for the end because Gio is a particular type of person. You know, he's Gio, and he has no filter, and that's one thing I love about him. So, we between him and I, we definitely use some saltier language. So, if you're in the car with a kid or something, maybe just save this part for a little later. Is kind of what I'm meaning. So, so everyone, Merry Christmas. I love you all. Thank you so much for listening or watching. You can watch all of this on YouTube, see all my guests' faces, except for Gio. He's a very private man, and that's Gio. I love the anonymousness, whatever. Animosity? No, that's a different word, isn't it? Oh, man. I thought I knew English before I started doing podcasting. Anyways, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I hope everybody gets what they want. And we will see you in the new year. I have a very special guest who I think is going to be my first guest of 2024. So I think you all know them. So look forward to that. Bye. So everyone, we've had several people on, but now we've got one of my first ever guests on who was on the program with me, and it's Eric. I mean, oh my God, I just had Eric on. Sorry, it's Gio. Johnny, how are you?
I'm running for the razor blades now. I can't remember my name, dude.
That's
I thought you were gonna introduce God, and they're like Eric. Who's Eric?
Who the fuck is Eric? It's fucking Jesus. Gio, the last time you were on, I think we did like a 2-hour episode talking about the history of the Film Vault. I think it was 2 hours.
6 hours total.
Was it?
Yeah, we did a 2-parter. So the first one was supposed to go only 2 hours. It went like closer to 4, and then we came back for closer to 3.
That was back when I had the stamina for a 6-hour podcast.
The will to live, a soul, cared about the Film Vault. Brian Anderson deserved our love. So,
yeah. That's all changed.
It was kind of a precursor if you're a fan of the show and you want to know the history. The one episode, the first one, was just all about how Film Vault came to be. And a lot of people don't know that. It's really weird because there's so many weird like steps. And I just happened to be there like Forrest Gump through a lot of them.
Well, I have to tell you, I did my Spotify Wrapped. I was going to email you about this, but it was my most listened to episode. So there's a little feather in your cap.
And it was so long too, so brutal. It's impressive.
I think like the first part was our most listened to. So
nobody listens to part 2s of anything.
Yeah, I don't know if people, but I mean, a lot of people listen to the second part too. So
yeah, usually drops off huge though. Allison was just talking about Allison Rosen, former Carolla news girl, also tangentially related to the Film Vault, past guest. She was talking about how she did part 2s. The part 2 never got any traction. A lot of podcasts still do it. It seems misguided.
Well, yeah, that's what Anderson Bryan just kind of went away from that, which I guess is a good idea.
Yeah, as a patron, I love the one file, so I didn't ever experience that. I was just listening to it the same way the whole time.
Exactly. So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions.
Shoot.
What's been your favorite movie of the year so far? Like, if you had to, give me your top 3 or.
I got 5 plus a cheat. As I can't settle. Well, we go with number 5, Strays. Brian saw it, Anderson didn't. They all were kind of misguided on. Brian doesn't have the history. This is essentially Homeward Bound 3. Now you're an adult and your dog is homeless. So this is made for like adults who watched the Homeward Bound revival 90s movies. That's an old Disney series they revived, made the Lost in San Francisco in the first one. There's 3 dogs having an adventure. Hopefully none of the animals, or 2 dogs and a cat rather. Hopefully none of the animals got killed like all the early Disney movies where they just kept throwing endless animals. I don't know the PETA and the ASPCA stuff on that movie, but I'm hoping it's okay. And then this movie Strays, Will Ferrell is a tiny little dog who thinks his owner lost him, but his owner, Will Forte, it's actually pronounced Fort, according to George Carlin, but whatever. He lost him, and he's like, wants to get back to him. And then I thought there was like a Kevin Hart talking dog movie, I guess because I'm racist, but Kevin Hart's not even this. It's Jamie Foxx, and it's hilarious. It's not what we think it's gonna be at all. And his goal then, and once he goes, no, your owner didn't lose you. He doesn't want you. And then it shows you what the owner is and who he is, which I'll get into. But the best part of this was his whole goal is to bite his owner's dick off. You're like, well, that's not going to be what the movie's about. Watch the fucking movie. It's crazy where they go. And Will Forte plays the worst version of every girl, woman you've known's worst boyfriend, the shitty friend you had from high school, your shitty loser brother, every example of a bad man you know whose parents loved him too much, narcissist, pothead, drunk. He's that person. And the reason why he has the dog is to steal it from his ex-girlfriend who he mistreated and deserved to be dumped by. It's crazy. The idea that's in that movie, I had no idea what was coming, and it blew my mind. The fact Anderson hasn't seen it and Brian's like, yeah, whatever. It's like, Brian, no.
This sounds a lot better than the trailers make it look.
Oh, yeah, it's way better. It's way better. It's crazy good.
And you know what? Brian and Anderson were low on it, but I've listened to a lot of people who really enjoyed it.
I thought Anderson didn't see it. Maybe he was low on it. I'm pretty sure he kept the last time he brought it up.
Right.
Yeah. He's like, I don't need to see that. All I need to do is sell real estate. Everybody listens to this podcast. They're going to be talking about real estate and selling real estate and going and selling this and doing that. That's what people want to listen to this podcast for.
It is. Yeah, no, I've bought 3 houses through him already just because I don't, I feel like it's my duty.
That's what we do. That's what we listen for. This is where Brian tells movies are bad that he doesn't understand, which we'll get into. See Strays if you haven't. Did you see Strays?
No, I haven't. I just wrote it down. I am trying to give comedies more of a chance because we just don't get enough of them, and like No Hard Feelings this year was good, and
masterpiece. It would have been on my list, but my list is too long. No Hard Feelings was so good. It's so great.
So
Jennifer, there's a lot of sexism with that because Jennifer Lawrence was putting it through a comedic performance with her body for the ages, but it did involve nudity, and nobody's bringing it up. Like, oh, she's doing a Jim Carrey at his peak level performance, maybe exceeding him.
Yeah,
and people aren't saying
she's great in it. She's great.
Crazy good.
Yeah,
crazy good.
So no, I'm glad you agree because I just think, and then Barbie had some good comedy in it too.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay, all right. So what's your number 4?
Beau is Afraid. I still don't understand the movie. I'm not sure I actually love it as much as I love Hereditary or Midsommar.
Yeah.
But what's weird about this movie is there's extreme parallels with my own life, including circumcised guys try to stab me in the street. Like this, weird shit, man.
How did you know they were circumcised?
It's in the movie. You see it.
No, but
in real life. Oh yeah, the people I was in the changing room with it at a school function or something, or just by laws of average in America, they most likely are. But yes, the first guy that stabbed me was definitely circumcised. I used to train with him in kindergarten, and he stabbed me the rusty railroad spike in the spine when we were 6 because I was going to Toys R Us. I was a poor kid on welfare and housing. And I was like, "Hey, you want to come with?" And I turned around and he stabbed me in the back.
I wish I could hug you. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a bad one. I don't really hurt, and I've never had a tetanus shot. So apparently, either tetanus is bullshit or I'm immortal. So,
I was just thinking about tetanus shots today, but
never had one. All I do is get stabbed with rust. Beau's Afraid's crazy. I literally wrote in my letterbox review. It's like Ari Aster either knows me and I don't know I know him, or he hired private detectives to follow my life and figure out put this shit in there. There's crazy shit in there that's even like my own mom and stuff. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Another person watch it and they go, "This isn't fucking your life, man." Minus the rich people stuff. It's I love that movie. I love everything about it. Parker Posey at the end. I can't even get it right, but her sequence was amazing. Her involvement in the movie, I thought was revelatory.
Yeah.
Still don't quite understand everything involved, but the graffiti alone, the reference to Seven with the knife dick graffiti.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can even recommend this movie to anybody, but if you're me, watch it.
I don't know who I would recommend it to, and I think I need to watch it again.
Oh yeah. I have like 3 or 4 more viewings involved before I'll fully get it. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever will. Number 3 is Ty. I just watched it. Anderson and Brian were huge on. So was Avery. Bottoms. Bottoms is incredible. I don't even know how to fully articulate what I love about this film. The cast are great. They're all from like born in like 95. Everybody who made this movie. So they're like, when I was 12, all these people were bored, and they've created something I'll never be able to hopefully get anywhere near close to creating, or even like barely worth commenting on. It's so brilliant and forward thinking and gay, but then also simultaneously, it's so normal. Where it's like, oh, it's not even weird to be gay. It's not like, oh, this is the gay LGBT. No, it's just a movie about people trying to get laid in high school, ranking against American Pie, ranking against all the other movies with heterosexual dudes. Like, now this one, the only rape in this one are the main cast discussing all the times they've been sexually assaulted, as opposed to all those other movies, which is a whole other onion to. Oh fuck, man. The idea that all these cast members are like 28 playing teenagers talking about, yeah, wait, I've been raped, I've been assaulted. It's like, fuck. And then Marshawn Lynch is in there witnessing the whole thing, like having reactions. I can't. I don't even know how they made this movie. I don't know how they made it. The people who made it, I just want to say nice things to them, and that's tied with Barbie for me, which I felt was equally important, feminist and cool. And I can't stand the dialogue about it because everybody's, even Anderson and Brian were like, "Oh, the hardest thing is to be a woman." It's like, dude, you guys really need to go back and reevaluate that part of the movie. That was a really touching speech, and that is exactly on point for what society expects of women.
Are you talking about the America Ferrera speech?
Yeah, that's specifically what Brian Anderson everybody kind of talking like, yeah, it's a really good movie, but come on, hardest thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's like, well, hey, Brian, your wife cleaning up your shit while you had cancer was pretty difficult.
Oh my gosh. I when I left that movie, like the first time I saw it in theaters, I said that I think America Ferrera deserves an Oscar nomination. I thought she was really good.
Incredible. Incredible.
She's proved herself in acting many times over the years, but I thought she did a really good job as a mom who's going through it, and the world is very heavy. And I love that movie. It's my number one.
The most impressive part was her willingness to accept the magic at play, the craziness. So the mom part, solid, nails it. Real mom, modern day daughter relationship. She's nailing all that, but then also accepting the fact that she created this whole mess. It's great. There's not, you can talk about for days. The only thing missing probably is a little bit more anger at Mattel for what they did to the band Aqua with the song Barbie Girl. A couple pointed jokes with them like, oh, you guys thought it was a good idea to ban this song because you can dress her up and touch her anywhere. Yeah, it's a fucking doll, you idiot piece of shit executives. So I love seeing the executives just being roasted. I wish they were roasted more for how stupid they were. 90s decisions are annoying. But I love that movie. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant piece of pop culture art. It wouldn't exist without the MCU. Bye, let's keep on.
Wait, what?
It wouldn't exist without the MCU. I think a lot of these modern properties and things wouldn't exist without the MCU. So I think because of the MCU, we have Barbie, but I don't think anybody's gonna put that together or talk about it. Like, oh, it's because we have G.I. Joe and Transformers. No, thanks. It's not why.
I don't necessarily think we'd have everything everywhere all at once though.
Oh, we wouldn't have it for sure. They could say they would have thought that up. They wouldn't have. They would have thought it up from the Marvel comics they read. But it's
or it might have been completely different, right? Like it might still have been its own thing, but like I just think Marvel has had so much impact on the movies we watch today, and people do not want to recognize that.
Oh no, they want to shut it down incredibly. So it's impossible. If you listen to film podcasts, even the film vault makes it rough sometimes. But we'll get Deadpool 3 next year, and everybody will change their tune like, oh, have you seen Deadpool 3? It's an R-rated. It's totally fun. Can we get another movie right away? No, they postpone movies till a year out because you guys won the previous year.
Yeah.
But I want to know. It's gonna be a fun. There probably wouldn't be theaters right now without the MCU. It probably saved all theatrical exhibition. So it doesn't matter. People are dumb. They'll ruin everything. But yeah, Barbie was dope. Bottoms was incredible. I hope everybody involved in Bottoms gets to make anything they want to make. And wow. Writing. Writing, the cinematography, everything in that movie, man.
Yeah, I agree. Production design, it's all incredible.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And then number 2, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. I never read the works of Judy Blume. The most I ever saw was the 1995 ABC Saturday Morning Fudge sitcom, which was a sitcom in the morning for children on Saturday morning. So you know how great and funny it must have been. So my whole understanding was she just writes about like spoiled rich kids in New York City apartment buildings who have good lives and parents don't understand them because they're pieces of shit.
And they're going through girl problems. But then you watch this.
That wasn't even really part of Fudge. Fudge was the TV show. What I saw, it was like Dunstan checks in.
Oh, okay.
It was like, what is this? It was like, he goes like the playground, and like it was a really weird show.
What's he checking into?
It was part of ABC's Saturday morning, so it didn't even make sense. But seeing this, I now understand Judy Blume's works a lot more. They were kept from me because I'm a dude, so they're supposed to be girl books, which is part of the thing I hate about Anderson saying, it wasn't meant for me. It wasn't meant for me. Yeah, man, nothing's meant for anybody, but seeing a piece of art that you not meant for you might change your life completely. Had I read this book as a kid, I wouldn't have hated myself as much. Hundreds, thousands of hours of saying I hate myself, wish I was dead, wouldn't have happened. It's the most atheist, feminist, humanist text I can imagine. And from what I understand, it's the most closest anything she's ever done. The only reason she let them adapt it is because the director was so serious. The 2 things they added were extra interesting for the mom character, Rachel McAdams.
Oh, so good.
I've been having everybody I know watch this, whether you got a son or a daughter, watch this movie with your kids, man.
I agree.
And if you're like, well, my son's not gonna like that, it's like, well, your son's gonna grow up to be a fucking rapist, so why don't you fucking change it? Well, I mean, it's like, if you can't handle a movie about some teen girls, he's probably not gonna be a good person. You're not raising him right.
Yeah, no, yeah, I wish I remember seeing the Judy Blume books on the shelf all throughout my school career and just looking at them. I shouldn't be reading those. Like they're
Yeah,
not
it's
for
just like
me.
trying to
They're
grab a
for
Playboy at a 7-Eleven or something. It's like
right.
people like, oh yeah, the smut
That's
we
not
have
for
in
you.
schools. It's like all I
Yeah.
got to read was like short abridged adaptations of Frankenstein and Dracula, and that's where I
Yeah.
learned about violence from Frankenstein. That no matter how you try to engage in violence with anybody, it will always end with you and your opponent wrestling to the death in Antarctica or the North Pole in the middle of nowhere on a piece of ice because you ruined each other's lives, even if you're literally that person's god. So there's violence always ends that way, and I think
Did
nobody
that
has read
happen in Frankenstein?
in the abridged version that children read. That's like 156 pages. The very end of them is Frankenstein's monster pursues him to Antarctica and goes, "Hey, I killed your wife. I did all this terrible shit to you. I ruined everything. You made me a wife." I think they even reference that, and also it's like he still wants him to make him a wife, and this whole thing. But he's just trying to escape it, and his whole life's ruined because he tried to do something nice for a dead body he made.
I just watched The Bride of Frankenstein this Halloween for the first time. Love that movie.
It gets great marks. It was just I was watching an old episode of Dollhouse that somebody was reviewing, and there was a still of Bride from Frankenstein that was inserted about 2 hours ago. So it's weird you brought that up. And my number one is The Marvels, masterpiece. Cried, laughed, loved it. Brian didn't understand it. He's like, God, you guys, seems like they edited out a whole chunk here. You mean the 4-hour TV show they didn't edit out of the movie? You fucking idiot. He's like, oh, you can watch 32 other movies that total like 60 hours, but you can't watch 3 hours and 8 minutes of a TV show, the shortest running Marvel show, or just watch the pilot. That's just like the thing. Just watch the pilot, or don't even watch it. Just read a recap, or just let me tell you what it's about, and not say that it's poorly edited. It's like, oh, we're supposed to know these things. You can't just put them on a TV show and expect us to see them in the theater.
I mean, I understand both sides, but I am a Marvel nerd. So I have watched all the TV shows, and so for me,
all they complain about is how they don't want origin stories. So they try to make the origin stories on TV, so they have to watch them.
Yeah, you're right.
In the movie, and another thing, nobody has reviewed this movie. Goes, hey, this is 30 years after the first movie, by the way. He's like, yeah, it's a sequel. It's like 30 years later. Like, what is wrong with you? Yeah, the first movie set in 1985.
Wow.
Stan Lee's reading the Mallrats script on the train. They have the DH, Sam Jackson. Yeah. She leaves. He comes back for Endgame, but she's been gone for 20 plus years.
Why didn't I put that together? Man,
nobody does. Nobody thinks
know.
That. And then Anderson's like, well, if she could just go and restart the sun the whole time, why didn't she? She's like, she thought it was going to kill her. So she blew up their AI to set these people free, inadvertently became their Hitler and exasperated their apocalypse. And they hate her with good reason. And he's like, these planet worlding ending events. It's like, no, they're specifically targeting other planets to steal atmosphere for temporary solutions. It's not a universe ending threat. It has a very specific reason. It's like, well, she suddenly can do this. It's like, because her daughter, her niece, her friend's daughter, and this young girl who admires her gave her the belief in herself that she could do this, but also the willingness to self-sacrifice. So essentially, it's a movie about reparations and about like conquering nations. Like it's all this weird shit's put in there. Very much probably because it's a black woman helming it, but it's very smart dialogue and conversations about things, and like a white savior woman who thought she was doing the best for him, and she now has to essentially go full binary to restart the star. And essentially risk killing herself to fix this thing she fucked up. So she needed this conversation, but nobody talked about this.
Wow, I never thought about the white savior thing. That's something that always bothers me in movies. And obviously I didn't think she was a white savior character in this movie.
She didn't think she was either in the first movie. Nobody did.
But like now I'm thinking of what she did in the movie and how she is like the typical white savior, but they turned that on its head. Making it wow, that's I can't wait for it to come out on streaming because I'd like to watch.
That's the only way anybody's gonna watch it. It's not theaters anymore. But then also like the hidden stuff of her going to another planet. Like, was that guy gay? Was she doing that because he's gay? He's not allowed to be gay on his planet, or did they used to fuck? Or they're like, I don't want a wife, but only my wife can be the queen. So you'll be the queen. You take off, and I'll just run things while you're gone, and we'll be bros. So like, what was that whole dynamic?
To me, it seemed more like a Game of Thrones thing where you marry somebody for like the family name or the convenience, or right. It's not necessarily like I'm in love with you unless you're Catelyn Stark and Ned Stark. I mean,
love the team Asian leading male thing. I guess that dude's like a huge celebrity overseas. Korean, I presume.
Yeah.
Huge, maybe Chinese. I'm not sure, but he's awesome. Movie's great. Iman Vellani was incredible. She's a revelation.
Incredible.
The idea that she's gonna have a career. She gets to just be an actress. She can be an actor. She can go do whatever she wants. She could be in a Scorsese movie. She could be in that movie. Like she was just a fan. She was a fan of this character. And somebody goes, "Hey, they're doing auditions in Canada." She's like, "I'll go." and then she wasn't even like an actor. And then she gets cast. And I didn't like Miss Marvel. I didn't like that character. It was created, I thought, from reasons that were kind of gross. I always find it gross post 2010 or 2008 where somebody makes a new character and like, they're the first Muslim, or they're the first gay, they're the first, like, just have them be a character, just like all the other Marvel characters. They weren't done that way. Like even Black Panther wasn't technically done that way, but it may seem that way. And it was finesse as best it could at the time, because it's pretty gross now, but it just didn't feel right to me. And I didn't like her power set. Her powers were that of Mr. Fantastic. So she'd have like a stretchy big hand. It's like, but you haven't introduced Mr. Fantastic. You can't be doing this. So they changed her powers for the show and the movie to make it so they don't step on any other shit they might want to tell later. And I loved it, dude. Her portrayal brought me in. Watching the show, she has a little white friend, Bruno, who has no family. And that's actually, it wasn't Pakistanis who raised me. Everybody keeps calling them Indian, too, which drives me insane. Brian Andrew, like her Indian family, the Pakistani, it's a big deal, man. I know it's basically like a divisible division that doesn't really matter. Okay, but it does to them. It's a huge thing. So you probably shouldn't say that. But I was raised by an Afghani family. It was very similar. It was actually far more strict. And it was the television show, and then more so in the movie, too. It was just crazy how like seeing that representation and
in Miss Marvel.
Yeah, the Miss Marvel, and then in the Marvels with her family being there. She was kind of the main character of both.
Yeah, and it was I don't think they needed to include her family as much as they needed to.
No.
But I think it was
especially with what the actor played her dad in real life. He got busted trying to fucking hit on the underage chick.
Oh, really?
They didn't fire him.
I
He's on
didn't know
set.
that.
That's really weird. So I don't know how that fucking, like, the whole time I was watching the movie, I'm like, is that the same actor? What? Wait a minute. No, wait, that's not cool, dude. What?
I think the mother was so well received from the show.
Oh, she's so good.
That she's so good. And the character's so fun that I think they're like, okay, we need her in the movie more.
She reminds me of Rabia. She's like Rabia was the Azami was the Afghani woman who raised me when my mom was around.
Really?
Family. And she was just like her, except Rabia wore the burqa and the hijab, all this stuff. And she was far more repressed, and she had a agoraphobia. But it was like so much of that character, that portrayal. It's weird, but as a person who didn't understand representation until I saw the movie Super, and I'm like, oh, I'm finally representing a movie. A complete loser piece of shit who doesn't matter, who's never gonna get anything in life. Great.
Oh
me.
my God, you do matter. Look, I'm having you on this podcast because people want to hear from you.
I know, but that's the first time I really got it. And then seeing more and more of this stuff, it's beautiful. And it's not like like ham-handed. It's actually
it is. Yeah, you're right.
It's woven perfectly in. I love it.
Yeah. No, well, that's a good top 5. I'm very happy when
really
somebody
6.
is top 6. I'm really happy when someone is championing a movie I liked that probably won't make it into my top 10, but you never know. Like I just had Florence on, and she's still championing Evil Dead Rise, and I'm I love that movie. So
that was a 4.5-star movie for me out of 5. So it didn't make my top 5 list.
Yeah, it was great. So I'm glad there's someone out there saying you need to watch this, because I think it's really good. So that's good. So all through the episodes, I've been playing the I Try to Guess Your Christmas movie. One of your favorite Christmas movies. Do you got that up?
Oh, I know exactly what it would be, but it's so obvious. It's probably one you've had multiple times today. And if I give you anything that's even like a remote clue, like even like something that doesn't make sense, you're gonna know the movie. Okay. Like I was trying to think like the most like obscure shit.
Okay, try to give me the most obscure shit, and then that's fine.
Airline ticket counter.
Oh, Home Alone.
Fuck. I was hoping you'd go Planes, Trains, and Automobiles or something else. That's Thanksgiving. Those Christmas. I was hoping you'd go something else. So I was going to say Pizza Delivery Guy, Snow Shovel, Fuller, Pee the Bed. There's literally nothing. Like, what could you do?
Yeah.
Filthy Animal.
I love that movie so much, so I would have. I
think the sequel is actually almost as good, except for the Trump cameo. I used to get sick of it because I watched it too much on VHS as a kid, and I'd get bummed out by the lady in the park. But that's a beautiful fucking story. When you're a little kid, you're like, get past all this sad shit about this lady who's homeless, whatever. Lady, shut up.
Yeah, and you're talking.
It's beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful. Like, it's
hard. Why didn't he take that old lady home with him and make her meet the old dude who saved his life?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Because he didn't have anybody. He just had like his children and their kids.
That would have been a good wrap up to that.
She would have had a home, and then he would have had a lady friend probably, or not. But who knows? It would have worked. Or a third Home Alone would have been great at any time, and it still could happen. He's like a drug addicted orderly, although it probably wouldn't fit now with his frame. It would have been a lot better 10 years ago. He's working in a nursing home. Yeah. It just so happens to be the nursing home where the two assailants who tried to murder him several times as a kid are at.
God.
And he's faked all his credentials. His life's been ruined. He's just a fucked up drug addict, and he's going to murder them. And nobody's ever going to put air bubbles in their veins, and nobody's going to catch him. And it's them trying to stay alive from the fucking Kevin McAllister seeking revenge in the nursing home.
Wow. And the other question I'm asking everyone: what is the best and the worst gift you've ever received for Christmas?
My aunt, who I've met twice, she asked me what I wanted. I told her I wanted Contra 3 Alien Wars back in 1993 for Super Nintendo. She sent me the double box set of The Sound of Music on VHS, which I've never seen. I would have probably watched had she sent me that and the game. But so instead, I unwrapped it. I left it sealed. I never opened it. And it's a VHS tape set that's somewhere in existence, not in my possession any longer. And I've never seen The Sound of Music, and I refuse to watch it.
Wow.
I mean, I could probably be swayed. But not.
But if you like, if you like music,
I know all the beats. I know the songs. I know everything. It's kind of like Wizard of Oz. I've seen in so many pieces over the years. I also find it inherently depressing, much like MASH.
Yeah, I find yeah, I like MASH. I like the humor in MASH, but it is
I can't watch it. The theme song alone, but not even that. It used to, the time used to come on Sunday evenings, right when like the lights were going down. It's like school's tomorrow. It's like fuck this.
Yeah, that's why I can't watch Love Actually, because I find it so depressing. Every character in that movie is so fucking despicable.
See, I'm not there yet. I haven't turned on any of them yet. I like those Richard Curtis characters, even though they're all nuts. They're all kind of narcissistic.
Yeah. And you gave us the worst. What's the best gift you've ever gotten?
Oh shit!
See, everyone I've interviewed so far has had a hard time thinking of the worst, but you had one right away, and you have a hard time thinking about the best.
I didn't really keep celebrating Christmas past like age 10. I think it was the last time I had a Christmas tree was like 9. And it wasn't full on atheism as the reason why. I think it was just dealing with my mom and how much of a headache it was for her to set stuff up and how unpleasant she made everything. The technically the best gift I think I would have ever gotten was a Panasonic 3DO in 1994. I believe it was over $600 at the time. It was the next generation system I had picked. I was going to invest in. I'm like, no, all these rumors about PlayStation, the next Saturn for Sega. No. I've been burned too many times. Going with this 3DO thing. It's got multiple companies. Panasonic's making one. Philips is making one. If they're all, or no, Philips was doing CDI, but there was like 3 Gold Star's making one. So a bunch of different companies are making this machine. It's got to be reliable. I'm going to go with this one. Asked my dad. He never gave me anything, barely ever in my life. He somehow came through and got a 3DO and sent it to me, but he sent it to our previous address. And he knew we moved. He was supposed to send child support every month. He just didn't send it. But he knew we moved. And so he's like, it says it was delivered, son. It says it was delivered. So I'm like, what? But I really wanted it. And like one of my other friends got one. He's like, you said you were getting one. I was like, yeah, my dad told me I was. He's like, it was delivered. Here's the proof. And FedEx wouldn't do anything to fix it. They're like, nope, sorry. We said it was delivered. We can't do anything to help you. And not at one point did he ever look at what the address was and like confirm it with me. So after a month goes by, I go to my old address looking for this box because they're not going to help us. I go to my old door. It's not there. The guy goes, I knock on it. The guy goes, I know what you're talking about. Oh, like a month ago? Oh yeah, I put it over there. And then so I walk down to another building, bottom basement floor. There's a brand new 3DO sitting in a box that's been sitting there for 30 plus days in negative 10 degrees.
What?
Yeah, just been sitting on a box on doorstep. Luckily, it's like a little bit free from the elements because you have to walk downstairs and turn a corner. But it's just cold. It's cold as shit. So there's my brand new 3DO sitting there. I get sometime in January with no games, by the way. So it just had a demo disc that had Batman the Animated Series, like 5 minutes of the Mr. Freeze episode, 5 minutes of an episode of Two Stupid Dogs, and then a bunch of game demos on it. Most of the time, I end up putting a music CD in and then moving the screen around to like make the thing spin. So you like see different like psychedelic art, you know, like a stupid screensaver they have on every CD player you plug into a TV.
I'm looking this up. I don't even know what a Panasonic 3DO is.
They're very valuable now. My friends all destroyed it like the movie Office Space. That'd be super funny. And now, of course, it's worth tons of money. And I didn't even get to destroy it or enjoy it. It has the best port of Street Fighter 2 Ultra. It's the closest to Arcade Perfect of anything that's ever been made. Huh. But the controller is a 5-button controller, I think. So you need a 6-button for Street Fighter.
Yeah, it's only 5 buttons. Well, it's got the D-pad, I guess.
Yeah, but that doesn't help you. Yeah, there's the directional pad, and then 3 buttons, and then 2 shoulder buttons.
Yeah.
But Street Fighter, you need a high kick, low kick, medium punch, all this stuff.
Okay, that's so interesting. Wow, I'm learning things today, people. I didn't know Panasonic tried the
video game system. Them and Gold Star and like one other company did it. Yep. They tried. Then nothing really spectacular came of it. Lots of PC ports, shitty Doom clones. Nothing really to report on it. Kind of a depressing, super boring thing to get.
Gold Star. What was it called?
It was a 3D. It was also 3D. It was Panasonic and Gold Star models. So at the same time, both
Oh.
companies had the same 3D you could play all the same games on, but they were different manufacturing. So they had a different look to them. And like one was more dependable disk drive, one had less dependable, like all the stuff kind of over
Mhm.
years people would figure out.
Wow.
But yeah, it was a waste of money. It was a bad idea. It was right at the boom of integrating a set-top box that's supposed to be an entertainment center for the family. So Laserdisc player meets video game console meets all stuff, but it doesn't do any of those things. You know, there aren't DVDs yet. It doesn't play Laserdiscs. It just plays CDs. And VCDs never took off in America for good reason. They look like shit.
Yeah. It's so interesting to be alive when, you know, a bunch of companies are trying to get in on, like, you know, the next big thing, and so you get like a million different versions, and then you see which one is the best and which ones make it, you know.
Yeah, but it's a lot of times it's so scammy. It recently happened with another console, the Amigo. I think it was called Amigo. This guy who's well known for video game stuff. That used to be on Electronic Playground. It was a syndicated show based out of Vancouver. Tommy Tallarico. He tried to get the rights to I think it was the Amiga, some shitty old system, and it was going to be in television Amico. So he did a crowdfunding campaign, but essentially it was just a big scam. He's like, listen, on the Switch they have pornography. It's like, what are you saying, man? He's basically trying to make like a new family console and charged $50, and it was $100, and it was $250. Essentially trying to con people into buying a piece of garbage that is not up to date. It cannot do the specs of modern systems, but people just want to get rich. So a lot of the companies do this. It's like, instead of doing the 3DO, you guys should have planned for 10 years in the future for what that system would be, launch that shit on time, how to play DVDs, how to do everything.
Yeah.
And you guys are still Philips. You're still a company. You weren't going anywhere. You didn't really waste all that fucking money. That was a really stupid idea. The technology just was not there yet. And it was a dumb decision.
So Amiga CD32.
Now, this would be the television Amico. It never came out. It was it's a whole thing.
Oh, okay. I looked at something different.
So this television Amico never came out. It was a huge controversy. Basically every video game podcast was talking about this for 5 years. Everybody was like, "Oh, these guys are scamming us. They're trying to." It was a big controversy with retro gaming and like somebody trying to launch a new system out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And like Atari and all these companies essentially will sell their rights to like screwballs. And like, I'm the CEO of Atari.
Yeah.
You're 17. Yeah, I bought it fair and square.
Did you watch not Atari, not Tetris, what's the other one? That movie with
the Blackberry movie?
No, it was the other one that came out earlier this year. And yeah, it's called Tetris.
The one about the guy who tried to escape Russia.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Yep. No, I haven't watched it. I want to watch it.
Yeah, I think you'd like it. It's a lot of interesting stuff in there.
The problem is I'm like a bigot against Russia. Not new. It's from sometimes in my childhood. I've hated them since the 80s. They ruined my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I lived in an apartment complex with all these Afghani immigrants who took me in. Then there was a bunch of Russian immigrants, and the Afghanis actually escaped to America to flee the Russians who were murdering them.
Oh,
so the family had told me about hiding under livestock inside of barns and stuff to escape, literally to get out. All their money, everything they had, like their baby hanging out underneath a cow while they're hiding so people don't shoot them in the head. And a bunch of Russian kids moved to the apartment complex, and they would start throwing rocks at them and committing like racist atrocities. And then because I was babysat by them, they just basically counted me as like a non-white, and they would throw rocks at my head and try to like hurt me. And even then, back then, we throw like crab apples back at them because we couldn't, like, I'm not gonna throw a rock at somebody when I hit a car. What if I hurt them? And they're like throwing rocks, trying to knock your eyes out. So it was rough. And then also just all the media stuff, and then Putin and everybody's bullshit, and essentially the world stage, and how they've essentially ruined my entire life. I hate everything I've had to hear about my entire life that I'm not involved in. It's like, motherfucker, I'm gonna start telling you about Marvel Comics. Oh, you don't want to hear it, but I have to hear about Vladimir Putin? Okay. That's not really fair to me, bro. I can hear about Christian stuff. That's not even a real guy. That's fake. That Bible's fake. Jesus never existed. Muhammad existed. He fucked kids. The Jewish stuff probably also mostly fake. So all three of these religions I have to hear about nonstop are basically based on lies, and you ruin the planet from time immemorial. And I get 40-something years of life, and I'm gonna have a heart attack at my desk, and Mitch Burns is going to find out. The film vault's gonna be like, hey, we stopped getting emails from Giovanni. Where is he? Nobody's going to know, but still going to be hearing about Russia and Judaism and Christianity. And
can we get like a life alert on you? So if you do die, then we know? No? Okay.
I'd have to pay for it. Who's going to contact next of kin? There isn't anybody. Technically, my mom could like update my Facebook. She has the understanding of how to do that, but never would happen in a million years.
Right. You can, because you can put somebody as your life,
contact or beneficiary.
Yeah, you can now put someone as like the person who can take over your account if you died.
I should probably do that. Here, Mitch, have fun.
Yeah,
make it seem like I'm really gay and still alive. I moved to Rio, everybody.
Sucking dicks all over the beach.
This is really fucked up, Mitch. You know he's dead. I don't know that he's dead.
What? I post pictures of you like Uncle Bernie, Weekend at Bernie style, like with sunglasses
Post
on.
this excerpt, like, hey, and if he is dead, maybe he wanted it this way.
Well, buddy, I have another interview in 5 minutes. I love talking to you. I hope to have you on the program again soon.
Oh, yeah, I have an open invite anytime you want me. I think you're supposed to say that, but I'm telling you I have one.
You have an open invite anytime you want to come. If you think of a top 5 you want to do, or if you want to talk about the Film Vault or something, I'd love to have you back.
Top 5 movies to put Anderson and Bryan in.
To put them in?
Yes, they would now be the protagonists, one or the other or both.
Okay. All right. That's a good top 5. Okay.
Bryan and Alien. How long does he last? When does he die? Which character? He's not Ripley. Bryan and Ripley.
If we put him in Aliens, we know who he is.
Alien singular. And we put him in Aliens. We know he's the sleazy corporate piece of shit.
Yeah.
He's not Bean. He wants to be Bean. Yeah.
Yes.
He's
but
Burke.
He's Paul Reiser.
He's Burke. Yeah, he's Burke. He's crap. But who is Bryan in Alien singular? I don't know. He's probably the guy that gets his chest burst open.
Kane. Yeah, Kane. Yeah.
Or he's that chick who cries for no reason. Who's supposed to be trans.
Oh, Lambert.
Yeah. Kill me. I'm Bryan.
She slaps Ripley.
All right, yeah, this has been a blast, buddy. I can't wait to hear on the show. I don't know how you're gonna edit this down, and if you don't, it's gonna be even funnier if you don't.
Oh, I won't. I don't edit things. What? What's editing? All right, buddy. Happy holidays. We'll talk to you soon.
Right back at you, Mitch. You're the best.
All right,
Keeping the flame alive for all of us, buddy.
Thank you. Bye, buddy.
Bye.
From like right above me, I'm an angel, so I was a little worried.
Damn right
about
you are.
Good. I'm really excited to have you on.
Ramp that down a little bit. Lower your expectations.
I'm Thanos collecting my Infinity Stones. I've got you, and I've got Greg. I just need I've got you and I've got Eric. I just need Greg now, and then I will be at full power.
Yeah, absolutely. It kind of caught me off guard, and I'm like, well, I guess I slid into his DMs, and then now I have an invite to the show now. But yeah, when you sent me that invite, I couldn't say no. I love what you do here, and I love the show. So yeah, looking forward to it, man. Thanks.
Mitch, you have to be present. Mitch. Hey. Hey.
No, this was a lot of fun. If it wasn't fun, you wouldn't have pulled me through. I can't believe we did 2 hours almost. Like that's.
Did we really?
Yeah, we started at.
Apologize to my wife.
Oh, are you gonna be in trouble?
No, she's cool. I didn't expect it to be 2 hours.
All right, Mitch. Welcome to the Film VaultERS.
No. Fuck off.